And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to week number 7 of Henley Hornets football on mybasin.com. The Hornets are back on the road this week, this time in Coos Bay, Oregon, on the coast to take on the Marshfield Pirates. Good evening, everybody. My name is Josh Eldridge. Along with me is Kevin Petrick and Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream tonight. Kevin, we're back on the road against a familiar foe from last year. Both of these teams are itching in anticipation. It should be a great game tonight.
Yeah, did we play here last year?
We did. In the quarterfinals, Kevin, it was a pretty big one. I don't know if you were with us.
No, I'm just my point is that I was talking to the coaches before the game, and that's something you kind of want to forget about.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a whole different team. But they are familiar with this venue, and Marshfield's a very good team. So it'll be a good test tonight for the Hornets.
Really excited for a highly anticipated matchup. You know, like you said, we played last year, but you're right. In talking to the coaches, you're not trying to focus on last year. You know, when you take a look at the conference standings, which we will in a minute, both of these teams are 3-0 in league play. Henley, of course, unblemished overall. Marshfield has that one loss that we'll dive into a little bit later. But as we enter the final 3 weeks of the season tonight, this is a big one in terms of playoff qualifications, and both of these teams certainly know it.
Yeah, you don't want to sell it to the kids that much. You just want them to go out and do their best, but this game is huge. You definitely want to be the number 1 or number 2 team in our league, and the loser tonight will probably be the 3 seed, and that has some challenges with it, but you never know what will happen.
Certainly, and as we just briefly take a look at some of the highlighted players, another week where it looks like it's going to be decided in the running game. At least that's what it looks like on paper. Logan Whitlock coming into tonight, 2nd in the state in rushing yards, 1st in the state in rushing touchdown. John Lamons, the running back for Marshfield, 4th in yards, tied for 6th in touchdowns. Now, historically this season, Logan Whitlock has really just risen to the occasion every time this season, but maybe his toughest test yet so far.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be his toughest test. One thing about both these teams, they're improving week to week. These teams are definitely on the upslope in their seasons. Some teams right now don't have a lot to play for. Their season's kind of finished for the most part, but these two teams really have a lot to play for, and we'll see a lot of effort tonight.
They're certainly going to play for it tonight here at Marshfield High School. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and when we do, we'll take a look at the Big Sky Conference standings, tell you what else is going on around the state, and, of course, in the Klamath Basin, and we'll dive more into this matchup between the Pirates and the Hornets on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. We are coming to you live from Coos Bay, Oregon, the site of tonight's Big Sky Conference matchup between the Henley Hornets and the Marshfield Pirates. As I mentioned, this is probably the biggest Big Sky Conference matchup of the season so far for Henley, who finds themselves in second place in the conference. They're behind number one Mazama by just half a game. The Vikings took one from the Pelicans last night. Klamath Union in pretty dominating fashion, 57-10, as Mazama won the 44th annual Canal Bowl to improve to 4-0 in league play, 7-0 overall. Again, these third-ranked Henley Hornets, they are second in the Big Sky Conference. They are 3-0 in league play, 6-0 overall this season. And then you've got the 7th-ranked Marshfield Pirates, 3-0 in league play, 5-1 overall on the season. They lost to Cascade in week 2, 30-6, their lone blemish on the season. After that, you've got North Bend in the conference, who's 1-2. They're 2-4 overall. Hidden Valley 1-3 in conference play, 2-4 overall record, followed by Klamath Union, who's 1-4, 2-5. Ashland has yet to grab a win in league play. They're 0-4, 1-5. Overall this season. A couple of the other games going on tonight in the Big Sky. Of course, we mentioned Mazama taking care of business against KU last night, but tonight, Hidden Valley is at home against North Bend, and Ashland playing a non-league game against Sweet Home. As we take a look at what else is happening in the Klamath Basin, Lost River taking on Chiloquin in Merrill, and Cross Point Christian battles Bonanza this evening. If you tune our way tomorrow on 104.3 and 960 Sports, you'll find the Beavers taking on the Washington State Cougars. That game starts at 6 o'clock, but you can tune in at 4. Be joined by the pregame show all the way up until, again, that 6 o'clock kickoff. Bringing us back to high school football, we'll go down the OSAA top 10 as Mazama is ranked first, followed by Scappoose, who is at St. Helens tonight. Of course, our Henley Hornets are ranked third. Marist is number 4. They're on the road against Philomath tonight, followed by 5th-ranked Pendleton. They're playing the Dalles this evening. Estacado won last night. They're ranked 6th as they beat Gladstone 46-6. Of course, these Marshfield Pirates are ranked 7th. LeGrand is number 8. They are at home against Crook County this evening. Baker is ranked 9th. They are at home against Madras. And Tillamook is ranked 10th on the road against Astoria. And Kevin, as we kind of look at these top 10 standings, we kind of thought about, well, week 5, 6, 7, these will start to even out. You'll start to really get an idea of where teams are. Mazama 1, Henley 3, Marshfield 7. They haven't played each other yet, but these last 3 weeks they're all going to meet, and we'll really get to decide who has the pecking order in the Big Sky Conference.
Yeah, we have some good football coming up, and there are a lot of polls out there statewide, but at this point we're deep enough in the season now where the OSAA poll is the one that matters. And as you said, Henley 3, Marshfield 7. You got a matchup of 2 very good teams. So the winner of this one will be in the driver's seat to get that first or second spot in the Big Sky.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. 3 spots at least up for grabs in the Big Sky Conference. Right now, Mazama, Henley, Marshfield up for those 3 spots. Now, you could sneak a 4th team in there with the at-large bid, with North Bend and Hidden Valley maybe in the mix. But exactly like you said, this is really as you start to battle for that top spot, that second spot, and then that third spot it could frankly be a road game depending on how the rankings shake out. Otherwise, you're looking at maybe a home playoff game. That is a ways away, though. Right now, like you said, these teams are focused on each other like they have been all week long, and it should be a great one. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we'll dive a little bit more into this matchup. We'll give you some numbers on the series history, as well as some stats for some of the key players that we'll see tonight as we continue our coverage of Hornets football on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Of course, we've got HD video on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them, and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
And we welcome you back to Coos Bay, Oregon for tonight's Big Sky Conference matchup between the Henley Hornets and the Marshfield Pirates. Still a few minutes away yet from kickoff, but Kev, as we take a look at some of the key players tonight, of course, when you talk about the Hornets, you can't not talk about Shaw Stork. He's 8th in the state in passing yards, 887 on the season, 13 passing touchdowns. That's tied for second. He's also got 331 yards on the ground with 5 touchdowns, averaging just about 8 yards per carry, and he's going to have to really come up big in some key moments tonight, a situation in which he probably hasn't been in since Seaside, but in talking with him this week, he knows it's just time to take care of business, and I think that's the attitude of this whole team, Kevin.
Yeah, the Henley backfield from the very beginning has been strong. Everybody's kept their eye on them, but as I walked around the stadium today, a lot of the Marshfield fans were watching the kids warm up, and they said, you guys have some good receivers.
Yeah.
And you know, as the season's progressed, the receiving corps for Henley really has become quite good. And that could play a role today.
Talk about guys like Luke Bennett, who's
Right.
11th in the state in receiving yards, 368, 5 touchdown receptions. That's tied for 4th in the state. You also got to look at a guy like Owen Sheen, 300 yards receiving this year. That's 15th in the state, 5 receiving touchdowns. That's also tied for 4th with Luke Bennett. And Chris Janney, who might be the third guy down when you talk about, in terms of receiving yards on the team, 151. But those 3 touchdown receptions have been big for the Hornets this season, and all 3 of these guys are dangerous in their own way.
Yeah, and last week we saw Logan Whitlock come out of the backfield and catch a few too.
Yes, he did.
So we're seeing some new wrinkles, and I think the key for Henley tonight offensively is going to be that balance, because Marshfield is going to bring a good defense, and we're going to need to mix it up, see what they give you, and take advantage when you can.
And one of the things last week against Klamath Union was trying to neutralize their key receiver, Tony Ortiz. Well, Marshfield has a guy of their own in Mitchell George, 5th in the state in receiving yards, 470. He's also got 4 touchdown receptions. That's tied for 5th. Another one of these weeks where it's going to be up to the Henley secondary on defense to try to contain a key guy.
Yeah, they did a terrific job last week picking out that key player and basically holding him in check. So once again tonight, that will be the goal.
All right, and as we look forward to it, we'll take a look at more history of these Marshfield Pirates, who played their very first game in 1902. Lots of history here in Coos Bay. We'll talk about it all and, of course, dive into this matchup coming up in just a few minutes. One more break, and then it's time for starting lineups and kickoff between the Hornets and the Pirates on 104.3 and 9 Sports. We've got HD video on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities.
And welcome you back on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on mybasin.com. Appreciate you being with us tonight. Josh Eldridge along with Kevin Petrick and Caitlin Rodriguez on the live stream. She missed the coin toss. The Hornets won, but they chose to defer to the Marshfield Pirates, who will receive. The teams are lined up, ready for kickoff tonight. The Pirates, the kick is up. Bringing it up the field, up past the 20. Now trying to cut near the 25 for Marshfield is going to be Drake Rogers. He brings it up just before the 35, call it maybe the 33, and that is where Marshfield will start possession.
Rylan Fox with the stop. Good special teamer for the Hornets. And Marshfield will start with pretty good field position, Josh, as you said, about the 39-yard line.
The Pirates are led out onto the field by one Landon Croft, 546 passing yards on the season, 7 passing touchdowns, as the Pirates go from right to left. Croft with 2 receivers to either side. This looks to be a handoff to Rogers coming up the middle, and he is stuffed for a gain of maybe just 4. And pardon me, that was Lamons on the carry. Lamons for Marshfield. Again, he is their star running back. 622 yards in the season, 7 touchdowns. He's coming out of the backfield for the Pirates.
Logan Whitlock with the tackle out of his linebacker position for the Hornets. Marshfield's pretty quick. They don't spend much time getting the play in.
It'll be 2nd and about 7 from the Marshfield 39. It's a play-action pass. Croft trying to come to the near side, but it is incomplete. The intended target for Marshfield was number 8, Mitchell George. That's the guy that Henley is trying to key in on tonight. 5th in the state in receiving touchdowns and also 5th in terms of receiving yards.
Nice little route. Tried to hit him in the flat near side of the field. Rylan Fox with the good coverage. 3rd down and long.
About 7 to go for the Pirates on their opening drive. Croft takes the snap. He's rolling out to his left. Tries to fire over the middle. The pass is caught for a gain of 9 and a Marshfield first down. In on the reception was Jonathan Calvert. And that'll be a first down for the Pirates, their first of the evening. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 46.
That was a nice completion. Rolled to his left, threw with his right. Right on the money.
And for the Pirates tonight, in purple from head to toe with white numbering and lettering, as Croft takes the snap. It's going to be a pitch to Lamons on the near side. Tries to cut up field and gets stopped after a gain of 2. Trying to run the option there is Henley tonight in their road white jerseys with yellow numbering and navy blue trim, yellow pants, and a navy blue stripe down the side with the navy blue helmets. It'll be 2nd and about 8 from the Marshfield 48-yard line.
Nolan Northcutt made the stop on that short gain. And we're seeing Marshfield mix it up already. They'll throw, they'll run.
You might remember a guy here last year by the name of Dom Montiel, the quarterback who now attends Oregon State University. He liked the deep ball, but this year's team, they rely more on the sidelines and the running game, a little bit more in last year's squad, so definitely a different challenge. This is a 2nd and 8 run up the gut by Lamons. He falls forward for a solid gain of about 5, brings it to 3rd and 3.
It's good pursuit by Matthew McCoy. He dragged down the ball carrier and will bring up another 3rd down.
3rd down for the Pirates.
3rd and 3. Converted 3rd down once already tonight to the Pirates. And now an opportunity again, 3rd and short. Coach Stork talking about this week, trying to win first down, keep them 2nd and 8 or more. Well, he did it. It was 2nd and 8. A play ago, and now 3rd and 3. Driving downfield, Marshfield now into Henley territory. This is going to be a run along the outside. Having some room, running up the middle is Mitchell George, and he gets the first down on a gain of about 15. Down near the Henley 34-yard line and a Marshfield first down.
That was a nice little misdirection run from Marshfield that time to the far side of the field. Luke Bennett eventually makes the tackle, but not before the Pirates pick up a first down.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 again from the 33-yard line now. Marshfield into Henley territory. 2 receivers down to the near side and a couple of men in the backfield. Mitchell George playing right behind the right guard. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons, trying to bounce around the outside. Has a little bit of room, cuts upfield, and is finally wrestled down after a gain of 5. 2nd down on the way for the Pirates.
Nice hole on that left side. A lot of room to run over there. Fox with another tackle for Henley.
Had the chance to talk with Fox earlier this week. Wasn't a starter up until that Hidden Valley game. Had to fill in on some defense, and they liked what they saw. He started last week against KU and getting some action here against Marshfield. It'll be 2nd and 6. The official marker, 7:52 left to go in the first. Dropping back to pass was Croft. He fires one across the middle, intended target George, but it does fall just incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd and 5. Marshfield already 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight.
Logan Whitlock saw that pass coming, and he stepped in front of the receiver. He almost picked it off, and he would have probably gone for the score had he caught it. Nice read, but just an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Scoreless ball game, 7:49 to go in the first quarter between the Hornets and the Pirates. It's 3rd and 6. Pirates driving into Henley territory. This is going to be a handoff to Lamont. He's trying to cut up along the left. He winds up in a group of bodies just short of the marker. That'll bring up 4th and 2 as the tackle is made at the Henley 25. And now a decision to make for Coach John Lamont at Marshfield, who through 6 seasons has an astounding 45-8 record with the Pirates.
It's a lot of tradition here. The referees are mic'd. The stadium's huge. It's almost like a college game.
Certainly.
Very nice atmosphere. Fun to play here. And we have an important 4th down.
And Marshfield looks like they're going to try to keep the offense out there potentially, but they'll take a timeout instead. We'll stick with you through this timeout. As a matter of fact, it is a perfect time to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to help make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. 3 locations in the Basin, 2 in Klamath Falls, 1 on Washburn Way, 1 on South 6th, 1 in Merrill. Les Schwab Tires have been doing the right thing since 1952. When we come back, it'll be 4th and 3 is the official marker. 7:09 to go in the first, and a scoreless ball game between the number 3 Hornets and the number 7 Pirates.
On this 4th down, neither one of these teams really shows tendencies. Their offenses are very good at changing things up. They'll change the pace. They'll change their style. So Henley doesn't know really what to look for here, and we'll see what happens.
It looks like the offense is staying out there for Marshfield. Lamont off to the right of Croft. 3 receivers to the right as well, just 1 to the left. It's 4th and 3 deep into Henley territory. Croft takes the snap, rolling to his right, tries to find a receiver downfield. The pass is it incomplete? And yes, it is. The intended target, David Bosque, over the middle. Incomplete pass, a turnover on downs, and the Hornets will take over at their own 26-yard line.
It's a nice break for the Hornets early on in the game. Ball just a little low. It just hit the turf before the receiver picked it up. Pass falls incomplete, and the Hornets will get a shot at the football.
Hornets led, of course, by Shaw Stork. We've already talked well about him. Logan Whitlock, the running back tonight, 2nd in the state in rushing yards, 1st in rushing touchdowns. The stat you look out for him, 11.1 yards per carry on the season. 1st and 10 from their own 26. Play action pass. They're looking to find the receiver on the outside. It looks like it's going to be Sheen. He's got some room. He's up past the 40, now the 45, the 50. He's up past the 45, the 40, 35, 30, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Hornets. No flags on the field. And on the very first play of the game, Owen Sheen punches it in for a Hornets touchdown.
Owen showing his speed on that far side. We've seen that a few times this year. Just get the ball to Owen and let him see if he can create some magic. Make a couple of tacklers miss. He did that and goes for the long touchdown early on.
Quick strike Hornets offense. How about 15 seconds and 1 play, going 74 yards for the score. And now Hornets in that strange formation with everyone spread out to all the sides except for the center, Stork and Whitlock right behind them. They now bring the squad together. It looks like they're going to be content to kick the extra point. Owen Sheen, a success rate of about 75% this season.
Owen Sheen in PAT formation.
To hold is Janney. The snap, the kick, and it is good. The Hornets on the board first, 7-0 with 6:45 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back as the Pirates try to answer on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We've got HD video on mybasin.com.
Oregon's men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. The Hornets striking first on the road here in Coos Bay against the Marshfield Pirates. 6:45 to go in the first, and the Hornets lead 7-0 after Owen Sheen took it to the house from 74 yards on the very first play from scrimmage for Henley. Now the Pirates get a second crack at things. Back to receive for Marshfield is going to be number 13, Drake Rogers. He brings it up from the 5. He's now up past the 20, trying to cut across the long side of the field, but he's wrestled down at the 19, and that is where Marshfield will take over their second possession.
That was a close one. There was a lot of room on that side, and if not for a shoestring tackle, that could have been trouble for Henley. Instead, Marshfield will start at about their 20.
1st and 10 Pirates, their last drive lasting 8 plays and about 5 minutes, although a turnover on downs deep into Henley territory cost them that, turnover on downs, and Henley converted on the very next play. We'll see what Landon Croft and the Pirates have in store. Croft takes a snap, looks to try to get it out quick to his receiver, and he's able to find Johnson on the quick screen. Johnson cuts upfield and forward for a gain of 11. It looks to be a good for a Pirates first down.
Cooper Grow making the stop, and that was another quick pass. This time Marshfield. Just one step, throw to the sideline, and see if your receiver can get downfield.
It'll be 1st and 10. Pirates from their own 30. Again, Croft, the new man under center for the Pirates. The senior finally getting his shot after 2 years being behind Dom Montiel. This is a run up the middle. John Lamons battling forward for a gain of about 9. He took quite a bit of bodies with him. He was hit maybe 2 yards upfield and kept chugging for 7 more. It'll be second down and 2.
Yeah, there was a big gap over there, well blocked by Marshfield. Owen Northcutt making the stop. And Marshfield's on the ball quickly.
Marshfield from the near hash, 1 receiver to the near side and 3 to the left of Croft with Lamons right behind him. The snap, it's another handoff to Lamons, has a little bit of room around the outside, but is quickly wrapped up as quick as the hole opens. It is closed, but it might just be enough for a Marshfield first down.
That was a nice tackle by Owen there. And it's right at the stick. We'll see what they say. Looks like a first down.
And another Marshfield first down.
That is Marshfield's 4th first down of the game.
They're moving the football, and we've seen teams do that, but Henley defense gets real stiff down inside that red zone and haven't allowed a lot of points.
1st and 10 Marshfield from their own 41-yard line, driving upfield nicely. Again, their last drive lasting 8 plays. Trying to get the call in from the sidelines. Quick play action pass. Throw to the outside is complete to the wide receiver, George. And pardon me, that was Bosky with the reception. Upfield for just a couple. Looks to be 2nd and 7.
Looked like McCoy was in there on the stop. Just a quick little pass. Picked up a couple.
And so the official marking is 2nd and 8 from the Marshfield 43-yard line. Yard to gain is the 49 on the other side of midfield. Three receivers to the near side for Croft with Lamons right behind him. This looks to be an option. Pitch to Lamons, goes wild. It's behind him, trying to fall on it. The ball's still loose, and the Hornets got it. They fall on it at the 30, deep into Marshfield territory, and the Hornets gifted with fantastic field position on their second drive.
The pitch a little bit behind the receiver. It went to the ground. Whitlock was the first one there. The ball squirted loose, and Chris Janney picks it up for Henley.
They take over with 3:49 left to go in the first, and it's a 7-0 ball game. The Hornets lead, and they'll take over. They scored in just one play on their first drive. Owen Sheen from 74 yards. And now with much better field position, officially marked at the 31 after the fumble recovery, and the Hornets offense trots back out. First and 10, Whitlock directly behind Stork with three receivers to his right. Stork takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock. He's going to try to pass downfield. He's got a receiver, and he's into the end zone on the trick play. In there for the Hornets is going to be Luke Bennett. Oh, pardon me, that was Chris Janney. Deep in the end zone, no one was around him. The play fake, the trick play, and another Hornets score after just one play.
Whitlock with a nice pass. He didn't panic. He had plenty of time to throw. Good pass, good catch. Another touchdown for Henley.
Sheen going to try the extra point again to try to put his squad up 14-0. 3:42 left to go in the first. The snap, the hold by Janney, the kick by Sheen, splits the uprights, and it is good. The Hornets up 14-0. Again, still 3:42 left to go in the first. 2 plays, 2 scores for the Hornets. That is some efficiency, if I do say so myself, Kev.
Well, Coach Paschy drew up some creative plays to start, and Henley hasn't had a lot of close games or really intense situations the last couple of weeks, so you think they might come out with just kind of the normal thing, but that's not the case. That's a great move by Henley to kind of not show their hand earlier in the season, show some trick plays. They're not tricks if they work, at least not in my book.
I don't think so either, but that was flashy, different, hadn't seen anything like it.
So
we talk about Logan's rushing game, and there he is tossing in a touchdown.
So very creative, and it's all worked out very well for the Hornets as they lead 14-0 with 3:42 left here in the first quarter.
Marshfield to get another chance. It would be their third possession of the game. Back to receive for the Pirates. Of course, it's going to be Drake Rogers, and then along on the far side for the Pirates. Trying to get that here. I believe that's going to be David Bosque. Sheen to kick. His team up 2 touchdowns in the early going of this ball game. The kick from Sheen is going to be fielded and bobbled at the 5. Rogers has to bring it up now to the 15. He gets the 20, makes a couple guys miss. There is a flag down. Bosque still on his feet. Or pardon me, Rogers still on his feet as he's wrestled down at the 20, and that's where the flag is as well.
Yeah, Rylan Fox, who's been doing a great job on special teams. I think he got pushed in the back as he was making a move toward the to make the tackle.
And that is the illegal block in the back there. It's called by our white cap tonight. And I will say it is pretty neat to have the referee mic'd up. That way there's no discussion about something that, frankly, we might have missed or don't know. We always know what's going on. I like that here at Marshfield High School. Their athletic director, Greg Mulkey, continuing a long tradition of excellence here in Coos Bay.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. No doubt about it. They know how to play football.
So Marshfield takes over at their own 11 with 3:30 to go in the first quarter, down 14-0 to the Hornets. Croft takes a snap, play action pass, trying to find his receiver down the near sideline and just overthrows Johnson. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 11 for Marshfield.
Johnson had a step on his defensive back. Throw just not quite on target, but you got to be careful for the long ball. That was almost a success for the Pirates.
So 2nd and 10 coming up for Marshfield. The snap is going to be a handoff. Coming to the near side was George on the sweep. He cuts upfield for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 6.
It's a good hard run. Owen Sheen knocked him out. And 3rd and about 5 or 6. Just a big play early in the game.
Marshfield so far tonight on 3rd down is 2 for 3 on such attempts. 3 receivers to the left for Croft. He takes the snap. He's rolling to his left, trying to find a man downfield. He fires, and it's intercepted. The Hornets force another turnover, and driving right upfield back down to the 10 for the Hornets is Chris Janney. Another interception for Janney. That's his 2nd of the season and gives the Hornets great field position. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12.
Another nice takeaway by that Hornet defense. Chris Janney did a nice job reading that pass pattern, and he stepped right in front, made the catch.
Henley with their best field position yet at the 12 with 2:39 to go in the first. They're already up 14-0. 3 receivers to the near side for Stork. Whitlock right behind him, and Sheen to his lonesome to the right. And a timeout taken by the Hornets. We're going to stick with you through this timeout. A pleasant time to remind you that this game is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Well, it looks early in the game like the Hornets been locked in, and they came to play tonight, Kev.
Yeah, everything's gone their way, and we've talked about Henley getting off to a good start, and I think this would qualify as a good start. Josh?
I think so. You got a couple of turnovers, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception.
Right. So
and you're up 2 scores.
That's why I felt like that 3rd down was a big play, because they were going to either have to punt with a stop, or of course you get the turnover. Henley can go up 3 touchdowns here if they finish off this drive.
1st and 10 from the 11 is the official marking. Still 3 receivers to the near side. Now Sheen swaps with Janney, who is alone on the right side of Stork, with Whitlock right behind him. This is going to be a quick slant route, and it is broken up. Did he come away with it?
That ball was popped up and might have been intercepted, yes.
Marshfield comes away with it, an interception at the 1-yard line. So change in momentum a little bit. The Pirates hope to capitalize on a turnover for Shaw Stork, only his 3rd interception thrown of the season. And Marshfield will take over deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that pass was well defended, and it ended up getting popped in the air. And an alert defensive back made the catch, and Marshfield gets the football.
Takes over at the 1 with 2:34 to go in this first quarter. Henley up 14-0. And in the shadow of their own end zone, the Pirates hand it off to John Lamont, who trucks upfield for a gain of 4 or 5. 2nd down on the way for the Pirates.
Logan Whitlock stepped into the gap, made the tackle. He's got a few already tonight.
So they're saying 2nd and 5. Yard to gain the 11. 2 receivers to the near side for the Pirates, with George right behind the right guard. This is going to be another handoff to Lamont. Tries to find a lead blocker, but he's wrapped up after a small gain of just 1 or 2. 3rd down on the way for the Pirates.
That was well defended by Henley. Whitlock, the first one in there. I think McCoy ended up making the tackle.
Third down and about 4. Pirates tonight with just 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. They've been tested multiple times already here early in the first quarter. Still 1:20 to go in this first period. Henley up 14-0. Croft takes a snap, play action pass, tries to find a receiver on the flats to the left side. The intended target, George, but it falls incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Pirates.
Ball just a little bit high on the throw, and it probably would have been enough for a 1st down if he had caught it. But that brings up 4th and a likely punting situation.
Now it's interesting as back to punt is going to be Caven Robinson for Marshfield. He doesn't have the usual room he might otherwise have on a punt, kind of right there up against it in his own end zone as the ball is being snapped from about the 7. And Luke Bennett back to receive for the Hornets. He's stationed at the 45. The punt is up. Bennett ranging over. That ball bounces out of bounds past the 40. But before the 45, they're going to call it the 44-yard line, potentially. We'll see exactly where it's going to be as Henley takes over.
That was a good punt. I like that idea. Kind of angle it out of bounds. You don't get a return that way. It's pretty good distance. And Henley will start on the Marshfield side of the field, but a pretty good piece of field position there played by Marshfield.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. It'll be 1st and 10 Hornets from the Marshfield 42 is the official marking. In motion is Whitlock. It's going to be a keeper, though, for Stork. He fights up the middle, and a small hole opens up for a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd for the Hornets.
It's a good decision there by Shaw. Could have handed off to Logan, but saw a gap. Picked up a few.
2nd and 7, the official marking. Now 40 seconds to go in the first. Stork with an empty backfield and 5 wide. Stork drops back to pass, feels some pressure, and is wrapped up and wrestled down. Stork can't escape the pressure, and he's wrestled down at the 50. That's a loss of about 10 yards on the sack. Brings up 3rd and 18.
Lucas Falau for the Pirates with a nice solid tackle there. Shaw's hard to catch back there, but that was a big sack, big loss. It'll bring up 3rd and about 20.
3rd and 18, the official marking. But before that play, the first quarter will expire with the Hornets up 14-0 after 12 minutes of play. We'll be back with the second quarter of action as we continue your coverage of Hornets football on the road against the Pirates and up by a couple of scores on 104.3 and 960s. You got HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
3rd down Hornets as we rejoin the ball game. It is 3rd and 18 for Henley as they lead 14-0 with 12 minutes on the clock in the second quarter. It's going to be a keeper for Stork. He has a bit of room. He's up past the 45, brought down at the 40. The ball pops loose. It's kicked up to the 35, and the Pirates fall on it, or at least they think they did. We'll wait for the official signal, and yes, the Pirates come away with a fumble recovery, and they take over at their own 36.
Couple of breaks for the Pirates. Getting a couple turnovers of their own.
We'll see if they're able to capitalize on this one, as still scoreless in the ball game. Again, down 14-0, 11:52 to go in the first half. The Hornets struck on their first 2 drives of the ball game, really on their first 2 plays of the ball game in the first quarter. Both offenses have since stalled. We'll see what Marshfield can do now in their first possession of the second quarter, 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line as they drive from right to left. Yes, play action pass to the near side. George has got it. He is wrapped up by Whitlock and wrestled down after a gain of 1.
Very short gain. You know, we always talk about Logan Whitlock's speed on offense, but he gets side to side very quickly from that linebacker spot, and he made a great tackle there to keep it to a 1-yard gain.
He's second on the team in tackles. He's got 20 solo tackles as a linebacker this season. That's a pretty outstanding metric.
Yeah. He gets to the ball very quickly.
2nd and 9 for the Pirates. 3 receivers to the right of Croft. And timeout is going to be taken by the Hornets. That's their second of this half. A fine time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home, and that's why Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and home owners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty today. Hornets up 14-0, 11-13 to go in the first half as they take a timeout on defense, left with 1 to go this half. And it's up to Marshfield to try to answer. They've created a couple turnovers on defense, and now time to capitalize on the offensive end for them.
Yeah, I think the coaches are trying to just settle down the players. We've seen a little bit of everything here. Fumbles, interceptions, long plays, trick plays. So you have to just execute your play. Don't get too up or too down, and try to stay with the momentum.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Pirates from their own 37. Croft back there with Lamons. Croft drops back to pass, looks over the middle and finds George. Pass is caught, but no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9.
That was Whitlock again. Allowing the catch in front of him, but making the tackle right away. Very sure-handed tackler. And that's 3rd and 9 coming up for the Pirates.
Pirates tonight on 3rd down, 2 for 5. They converted their first 2 of the game and have run the well dry on their previous 3 attempts. One receiver to the near side, it's George. 3 off to the right of Croft on the far side of the field. Croft drops back to pass, has lots of room, has lots of time, tries to throw it over the middle, and the pass is broken up. A flag, though, at the side of the play, and George was asking for pass interference. Henley seems to think it might be offensive pass interference. We'll see what the call is as the flag rests at the 42.
Croft had a lot of time, way too much time. If he gets that much time to survey the field, he will definitely complete some passes.
And unfortunately, you couldn't see the white cap here this evening, blocked by the pole in the center of the field, but it was pass interference on the defense is the official call. So this one is going against the Hornets, and it'll move Marshfield upfield. It'll be 1st and 10 Pirates from the Henley 48-yard line.
Marshfield's on the ball in a hurry to start this new set of downs.
Croft with Lamons to his left. Sends a man in motion, and this is going to be a handoff to the wide receiver who is in motion. It's Johnson who cuts upfield for a gain of about 3, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down.
A version of the fly sweep to the near side of the field, picks up just a few. Henley did a nice job of spreading that clear out to the sideline. Not much room.
And as this is about to be the 5th play of this drive, would be tied for the 2nd longest drive of the night so far. These teams have been playing hot potato with the football. But here we go, Marshfield. It'll be 2nd and about 8. Croft with the handoff to Lamons to the near side. Lamons has a little bit of room, but is quickly wrapped up by Fox. A gain of 2, 3rd and call it 5 or 6.
Solo tackle out there. Nicely done again by Fox. We've had a lot happen on 3rd down tonight, Josh. All kinds of kinds of things. We'll see what happens here.
Marshfield hasn't had a lot of luck. It was a pass interference call that allowed them to convert on the last 3rd down attempt. Now it's going to be 3rd and 6 from the Henley 44. Snap is taken by Croft. He's looking down the far side, and it is broken up along the sideline. Intended target was George, and that brings up 4th for the Pirates.
Chris Janney with good defense, able to jump in front of that pass and just got a finger on it, I think, and deflected it out of bounds. And that'll bring up 4th down.
This will be the second time the Pirates are punting tonight. Bennett back stationed at about the 10, and punting for the Pirates is Robinson. Robinson,
Is it a good place for a fake, Josh?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy, I think. Robinson, the senior, takes the snap.
Nope.
No fake. The kick is up. Bennett under it. He's going to let that one bounce around the 10. It kicks back up towards about the 14, so not great field position for the Hornets to start, but a bit of a lucky hop will allow the Hornets to start right around the 14, but we'll see where they officially put it.
Unofficial score from Hidden Valley 6, North Bend 0.
And we just got a score from the Big Sky Conference as Hidden Valley up 6-0 on North Bend in the first quarter in Murphy.
Okay, the Hornets starting deep in their territory. Last drive was interrupted by a turnover. We'll see what happens this time.
They are starting 1st and 10 from their own 14 as they drive from left to right. Stork back there with Whitlock. This is going to be a handoff to Logan. He bounces around but is wrapped up at the feet. Looks like no gain on the play. Maybe one. It'll bring up 2nd down.
That was good defense that time. Marshfield really filled the hole quickly. And if you don't get there in a hurry, Whitlock will turn on the jets and cut outside and pick up a lot of yardage. So good first down play by the Pirates.
8:55 to go in the second quarter. 14-0. Henley leads. They've got the ball. 2nd and about 9. Stork trying to get a quick pass to Sheen. Dodges one defender, trying to find a block. Sheen up now past the 20, and he is wrestled out before reaching the 25. Looks to be the 23-yard line, so that brings up 3rd and 2 after the gain of 7.
There's a late flag on the Marshfield sideline over here. We'll have to see what's going on there. There's that pass again to Sheen. Just one step, zip it over there, and let him try to miss some defenders.
Unsportsmanlike conduct going against Sheen after the play, and so negate the 7-yard gain. This one's going back.
That's a tough break for the Hornets. So keep your composure. It's a tough place to play.
Certainly a lot of emotion in this game, too. So, bring it back. It'll be
maybe half the distance, I think.
2nd down and 14. No, 2nd down and
about right.
About 14.
That's about right.
13 officially. Same formation for the Hornets as Stork is going to hand that one off to Whitlock. Had a lot more room to maneuver upfield that time, and he is up for about a gain of 3. So back to the original line of scrimmage for 3rd down.
Teams are obviously keen on Whitlock, and most haven't had success, but tonight Marshfield's doing a pretty good job of knowing where he's at and getting someone there to stop him.
3rd and 10 for the Hornets. They haven't had to face 3rd down too many times tonight. They're 0 for 1 in attempts, and a timeout, I think, called by the officials as they're gathered right near the football. Did you happen to see anything down there, Kev?
No, I didn't. They're having a meeting. The officials are having a meeting, and I'm not sure what they're discussing.
Well, as we wait for the designation, a fine time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness have the most understanding personal trainers you could ask for. They make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isle Citizen Fitness wants you to lose those reins and get your gains. And did you happen to hear what was said down there,
Yeah, they
Kev?
moved it down to 4, and after that penalty on second down, they replayed second down, and the officials decided that they shouldn't have. So the down is now 4.
Okay. So fourth down. Hornets forced to punt. Stork, the kick is up. Robinson is going to field it at about the 46-yard line. He is wrestled down on the other side of midfield at about the 47. That is where Marshfield will take over with 7:47, trailing by 14 in the second quarter.
Luke Bennett made a nice tackle. He got there in a hurry. Showed a little bit of his speed to make the stop. And now Marshfield will be on their own side here. The Henley side of the field, I should say, to start their drive.
Take over at the 47. Again with 7:46 to go in this first half. 14-0 Hornets. Here we go. Croft going to take a quick pitch to Lamons, who's now up past the 45 before being rocked at the 45. Gain of 2 and a second down.
McCoy and Bennett with a hard tackle. Second down and about 7.
Second and 8 to go for Marshfield, and Henley, for the most part, has done a good job of limiting big first down gains tonight. You know, that was a big mode of discussion for this coaching staff this week. Second and 8, 2 receivers to the near side, 3 to the far side for Croft in an empty backfield. Has a little bit of time to throw, finds George on the curl. Pardon me, that wasn't George, that was Rogers on the curl. Good enough for a gain of 11 and a Marshfield first down.
Nolan Northcutt on the coverage, and he makes the tackle. And Cross getting a lot of time to throw. And I know Henley's going to have to address that at halftime. If he has that much time, there will be a lot of trouble in that defensive backfield.
First and 10 from the Henley 34. From the near hash. Croft back there with Lamons. The snap. Handoff to Lamons. He's up past the 30. Up to the 25 and inside the 25 at the 24. Looks to be good for another Pirates first down on the gain of 10, maybe just short, inches. Second and 1.
There was some nice running there by Lamons, showing that he's shifty. He can move side to side.
Another handoff to Lamons, bouncing around the outside, breaks past one defender upfield, certainly has the first down and then some. Call it a gain of 10 on the play. Inside the 20, down at about the 15. Marshfield grabbing the first down there, their 7th of the ball game, and their 5th play of the drive coming up.
Yeah, Marshfield starting to figure out that run game a little bit. Had a lot of success on this drive.
Lamons 4th in the state in rushing yards, over 650. Another handoff there. He's wrapped up and wrestled down. Looks like he still might have gotten a yard or 2. It'll be second down.
Nolan Northcutt did a nice job breaking through the line and making a good stop.
14-0 Hornets, 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Hornets number 3 in the state entering tonight's ball game. Marshfield number 7. Each in a 2-way tie, 3-way tie, maybe in a sense, for the top spot in the Big Sky Conference. Second and 9. This is going to be a option pass coming to the near side. George has some room on the reverse, inside the 10, inside the 5, down at the 2. As it was a handoff to Lamons, and he pitched it to George, coming the other way to the near side. He gets the first down. It'll be first and goal from the 2 for the Pirates.
There was a penalty right in the middle of the line there, Josh.
And was that the holding call?
Yep, that'll come back. Yes.
Great play design, though, from the Pirates. Can't take that away from them.
Absolutely.
It will be a repeating second down for Marshfield.
Marshfield showing some creativity as well. Good play call. Went with the reverse there, and it picked up quite a bit of yardage, but the flag will bring it back and make it 2nd and very long.
2nd and 15 looks to be the official marking, but it looks a little bit longer than that. Maybe closer to 2nd and 17 or so. Yard to gain is the 8. Croft, the snap, rolling to his right. Has some time, looks deep towards the end zone, and the pass is incomplete in the far corner. Intended target was Johnson, and that will bring up 3rd.
That's a pretty well thrown football. Put it right where he had to on the outside shoulder in the back of the end zone. Owen Sheen had very good coverage, so there wasn't a lot of room, and the incompletion will bring up 3rd down.
Marshfield tonight, again, just 2 for 5 on 3rd down conversion attempts. They were bailed out one more time on a pass interference call. But now 3rd and long.
About 4.5 minutes left to play in the half, so plenty of time.
Lamons to the left of Croft. Also to the left, just a lone receiver in Rogers. 3 guys to the right of Croft, the senior quarterback for the Pirates. Gets the call in from the sideline. Lamont, the play action pass, trying to find his man over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Again, the intended target, Johnson, over the middle. Good coverage. And it'll be 4th and long.
That was a well drawn up play action, pass right in the seam. The pass was there, it was a good piece of defense out there by Kyle Nichols. He broke up the pass. It's 4th down.
The offense looking like it might stay out there, though. It's at the 24-yard line in Marshfield territory, and it doesn't look like they're going to bring the field goal kicker out there. So the offense remains out there for the 4th and 16, officially 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions tonight are the Pirates. Croft trying to find the out route, the intended target, and complete to Johnson, still well short of the marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Henley is going to take over. 2nd turnover on downs tonight for the Pirates. Another long drive for Marshfield, too. That one 9 plays, the longest drive of the night for either team. Marshfield also had a drive of 8 plays in their first go-around in the ball game, and another time for them to turn it over on downs. So now it's up to the Henley offense, officially marked at the 14-yard line. No, pardon me. At the 12 is where they're putting it, and that's where Henley will start. Looks to be a keeper for Stork. He's coming along the near side, tries to spin around one defender, but he is wrapped up and brought down back at the 10. A loss on the play for the Hornets, 2nd down.
Not a lot of room running the football right now for the Hornets. Marshfield doing a nice job of not allowing anybody into that 2nd tier of defenders, and a loss on the play.
So again, 2nd and about 12, officially marked at 11, but call it a long 11. 2 receivers to either side. They're putting a man in motion in Janney, and looks like it might be a false start as a flag is thrown before the snap.
I think we had a couple guys in motion at the same time there.
Yep, so that one's coming back a little bit. Still 2nd down for the Hornets.
You know, this game started off with a flurry of offense, and now that the defenses have settled in, we haven't seen much scoring or ball movement really since that first 5 minutes.
Well, it is a game of adjustments, and both of these head coaches in their 6th season. They are seasoned at this point and making adjustments, and so far on the defensive end, it has worked. 2nd and 16, Stork, quick pass to the near side. Past one defender is Janney, and he tries to cut up field for more, but he's just back to the original line of scrimmage. Pardon me, that was Bennett on the catch. Upfield for about 5 or 6.
That was Bennett's turn to make something happen, and he did dodge one tackler. Picked up a few, but that still brings up a third and about 10.
0 for 1 on third down conversions tonight for the Hornets. It's from the 16. No, pardon me, not the 14. It looks like the Hornets trying to get the call in from the sideline.
Henley taking a little more time than usual to get this play right.
3:26 to go in the first half, and they're up 14-0. The Hornets scored on their first 2 plays of the game, each of their touchdowns. And it looks like the Hornets are taking their final timeout of the half. We're going to take this one too, as Henley leads 14-0 against the Marshfield Pirates. 3:26 to go in the first half. We'll be back as we continue your coverage on 104.3 and 960 Sports and HD video on Basin.com.
Oregon men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports, HD video on MyBasin.com. The Hornets, 3rd and 10, deep in their own territory, officially marked at the 13-yard line. Hornets 0 for 1 on third down attempts tonight. Stork takes the snap, rolls to his right, it's the near side, tries to find a receiver, it's Sheen downfield. Did he get it? No, he did not. Could not keep the feet in bounds. Incomplete. 4th down.
Almost a good effort. It's a good route. It would have been a first down, just could not get the foot-toe tap in, and Henley will have to punt.
Second punt of the night for the Hornets. Stork, who hadn't really gotten any work as a punter for the first few weeks, a couple times in week 1, maybe once or twice in week 2. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but punting for the second time tonight. Back to receive for Marshfield is Robinson, and another player going to be back there with him, so Marshfield might get a little bit tricky as David Bosque back to receive as well. The snap and a flag right away. False start against Henley, so on this punt, they're going to have to do it a little bit closer to their own goal line. Now from, call it the 7. Stork in the shadow of his own goal line. The snap, the punt is right up and doesn't get past the 25. Stork got a little bit too much under that one and gives Marshfield some great field position. 1st and 10 Pirates from about the 24.
Well, Shaw's asking the officials why there wasn't a flag. He ended up on his back, and the kick was off the side of his foot. That's why it did not go very far as compared to his other kicks. And he didn't get the call, and Marshfield's going to get a big break with a short field and about 3 minutes left here in the half.
They're starting at their own 24-yard line, Marshfield's best starting field position of the night. Croft with Lamons to his right, and a flag again right before the snap. Encroachment against the defense. And so this one's against the Hornets. It's moving up.
Things not going Henley's way here the last 3 or 4 minutes, and they need to gather themselves, and they will.
Here we go, 1st and 5, Pirates. Sending a player in motion, and the sweep coming to the near side on the carry was Toby Johnson. Lays a stiff arm on a Hornets defender and cuts upfield for a gain of 3 or 4. It'll be 2nd and short for the Pirates.
That was a big collision. I think Ryland Fox was over there again. And we're seeing some good football tonight, Josh. These teams can play. It's unlike any game we've seen yet this year. Some hard hitting out there.
14-0 Hornets, 3:01 to go in the first half. It's 2nd and 2. from the 14 for Marshfield. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons up the middle. Battles forward. He's close to the marker, but it looks like maybe just short. 3rd and inches coming up for the Pirates.
3rd and inches, ball in the red zone. You can kind of call any play you want here.
Two for 6 tonight is Marshfield on 3rd down.
We'll see what Marshfield tries. They do have 4 receivers set.
3 to the right, 1 to the left for Croft, and Lamons to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Lamons. Bounces around the outside, finds some room inside the 5, still on his feet before being pushed over. Down at the, not inside the goal line, at about the 3 or 4 yard line. 1st and goal, Pirates.
He had a lot of room off right tackle on that side of the field and was able to get almost into the end zone. And Henley will really have to put together a goal line stand to keep the purple out of the end zone.
Inside the 5, it'll be 1st and goal from the 3. The snap, a handoff to Lamons, goes around the right side, fights forward into the end zone, and a Marshfield touchdown.
Yeah, that was that same play. They kind of found a play that works, and they stuck with it, and Marshfield gets on the board.
Take advantage of some great field position. It took them 5 plays to go 24 yards, and about 1:20 to do it. Now, looks like they're going to try to go for the 2-point conversion here quickly, but a whistle's blown. Strange formation, everyone to the left of center. And it looks like they're going to try to pitch it to George. He can't get in there. Tackled down at the 1, and a strange formation for the Pirates. Doesn't fool the Hornets. It's still 14-6 with 1:53 left to go in the second. Again, the Pirates capping off a 5-play, 24-yard drive with a touchdown rush for John Lamons. It would be his 8th touchdown of the season and brings his team within 8.
That's a big play, stopping that conversion, making the score 14-6. That was Logan Whitlock again, showing his speed and his tackling ability. Stopped the ball carrier just short of the end zone. And that's 2 points that the Hornets don't have to give up. So well done on that conversion by that defense.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate, Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Luke Bennett, Logan Whitlock back to receive for the Hornets. They're stationed at about the 10.
The first time we've seen Henley return a kick tonight.
Yes, it is. We'll see what this unit can do. The last time they returned a kick, it was all the way to the end zone as Mark Carpenter put an exclamation point on the Klamath Union game last week.
Right.
The kick is up. It's going to be fielded by Bennett at the 5, brings it up past the 15, tries to find some room on the far sideline, is really wrestled down at about the 17. That is where Henley will take over. See if this Henley 2-minute drill holds up like it did at the beginning of the season. They take over with 1:47 to go in the half and just no timeouts.
That was Trenton Edwards with a terrific tackle on special teams for Marshfield. And Henley will start inside their own 20.
Again, officially marked at about the 17. It'll be 1st and 10. Hornets have stalled out the previous couple of possessions. See what they can do here. Again, $1:47 to go in the half. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the left of Stork. Logan Whitlock to his right. Stork drops back to pass, decides to keep it. Doesn't find any room and is brought down for a loss. And the clock will continue to run. Again, the Hornets with no timeouts. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. Marshfield, the one to call a timeout, though. They seem hungry for the football back, as that was their 2nd timeout called in the half, 1 remaining. And it'll be 2nd and 11 when the teams return to the field. A fine time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Refuel after the game at Mountain Mike's Pizza. You've earned a pizza made with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a Mountain Guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
I think if these teams were given a dozen timeouts, they would have used them all in this first half. It's just one of those games where there's a lot of strategy. The coaches are trying to keep the kids focused and executing the game plan, and it's good football. Just what we thought we'd see here tonight.
14-6, Henley leads. They've got the football with 1:34 left to go in the first half. It's 2nd and 11 from their own 16. Stork in an empty backfield, 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Takes the snap. He looks right. Stork trying to roll out to his right. Can't decide to go left or right. Tries to shed off one defender, but the next guy gets him. Brought down, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 11, and Marshfield is going to use their final timeout. They are left with none. Kevin, you said it right. Both teams using their timeouts, and a lot of this due to obviously Marshfield trying to get the football back, but controlling the pace tonight, I'm sure, was a key for both of these teams going into tonight's game.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, they don't show tendencies, so you don't always know what you're going to get as far as the pace is. Marshfield's not afraid to line up on the ball, step back, change the play, and then take longer. Sometimes they'll jump right on the football and call the play quickly. Henley will do the same thing. So we're seeing two mature football teams here, and Lucas Falau, number 59, if you're watching the live stream for Marshfield, had some big plays tonight, and he came through on the tackle for a loss right there. Some good football players on both teams.
3rd down and 11. Tonight the Hornets 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversion attempts. 4 wide receivers and Whitlock in the backfield for Stork. Here we go. 3rd and long. Stork takes the snap. Misdirection. Whitlock fumbles it on the transfer, and the Pirates fall on it. They'll take over with 1:18 to go in the first half, down 8. And it looks like they're marking it at the 12. Marshfield with another great opportunity with good field position.
Tough break for Henley. You don't see that, I don't think, at all this season. Just a difficult handoff between Stork and Whitlock, and the ball found its way to the turf. Marshfield came up with it, and they've got just over a minute to try to tie the score.
1st and 10 from the 11 for Marshfield. This is going to be a play-action pass. Croft looking towards the end zone and incomplete. Intended target trying to cross over the middle was Mackay Johnson. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Owen Sheen on the coverage. And there was a lot of space back there, but a little miscommunication on the route. And that brings up 2nd down. 1:14 left in the half.
And we'll see if Marshfield decides to keep this through the air and run the risk of stopping the clock, although...
Right, because there are no timeouts left for either team, so...
Another quick pass. No, it's a draw play to Lamons up the middle. He finds a little bit of room inside the 10, down at the 8. 3rd down and call it 6 coming up for the Pirates.
They can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown here. 50 seconds and counting.
Croft, snap, drops back, feels pressure. The pass is tipped up and almost picked off, but it falls gracefully to the turf. The clock stops at 46.2 seconds. 4th down and 6 at the 9 for Marshfield. And they might be content to just kick the field goal here as a couple of guys jogging off the field. And Robinson, the kicker, coming out.
Janney read that perfectly, and I thought he made the interception and did not quite make it. He would have been off to the races the other direction had he caught it. And Marshfield's going to try to add 3.
And so to kick for the Pirates is Quentin Petty. The kick is up. And it is good. They put 3 on the board with 41 seconds to go in the first half. That makes the score 14-9. And the Hornets still in the lead with 41 seconds. They will have one more opportunity with the football. No timeouts remaining for the Hornets. And it'll be interesting to see what this Henley team decides to do. By the way, that drive for Marshfield going 4 plays, 14 yards in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, that was a win for the Henley defense. You know, this Henley defense, I think, has played exceptionally well in this first half. They've had to deal with a lot of short fields. Marshfield got some turnovers, got some breaks with easy short field and field position. And the Henley defense done a really nice job, only giving up 9 points.
So Whitlock and Bennett back to receive for Henley. They're both stationed at the 10. Petty to kick for the Pirates. The kick is up. Bennett fields it at the 6, brings it up past the 15, trying to go along the far sideline. He is wrapped up and brought down at the 23, and that is where the Hornets will take over with 33 seconds to go in the half.
Henley will get the ball to start the second half.
Yes, they will.
So we'll see what Henley does here. They may just sit on the football, or they may be aggressive. But they may just want to take this lead into halftime and talk about it.
Looks like the team is right up there, and I think you're right, Kev. We're probably going to see a knee, and the teams will jog off the field as everyone is bunched up. Stork got Marshfield to jump offside on the hard count. No, he did kneel it down. It looked like might have been that's the case, but that will end the half. With a score of 14-9, it's been great football dominated by defense so far in this game. Lots of turnovers on offense as well. We'll talk about it all as we continue our coverage tonight of Henley Hornets football on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Again, at halftime, Henley leads 14-9 on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
The road's a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Ugh, keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
It is halftime tonight in Coos Bay, Oregon, as the Henley Hornets lead the Marshfield Pirates 14-9 at half. This half started rather explosively for the Hornets. They got their first two possessions wrapped up in 2 plays, 2 scores, and have since been held silent. Meantime, Marshfield capitalized on their final 2 drives, scoring a touchdown, and then, of course, the field goal with the missed 2-point conversion. And, well, sandwiched in the middle of that offense has been some fantastic defense.
Yeah, the defense has really stepped up, and the thing I'm really impressed with is the coaching adjustments in the game, during the game. It's not always easy to do, but you have 2 mature teams with very good athletes, and they can execute what the coaches put out there, and that's easier said than done. Not a lot of high school teams can do that. These coaches will cook up some strategy, and the kids will execute that, and we've seen a lot of that, and the defense has kind of took over for the majority of that first half, bringing us to our 14-9 score.
Turnovers tonight, 2 for each team, but I think, again, there was that one fumbled transfer for, 3 for Henley, and then that 2 for Marshfield. He did have those couple of fumbled transfers to the running back and the pitch for Marshfield.
Right.
Of course, Logan Whitlock with the failed transfer with Shaw Stork. But a couple of interceptions, too. I think it again comes down to the defensive pressure applied by both teams. Even with all these turnovers, it's really been the defense creating these plays and causing pressure, especially in the pocket against Henley.
Yeah, and it's these teams, we thought they were even coming in, and they in fact are even. Just about the same amount of turnovers. They each had momentum swings, and the game has been tight, and I will guess that it will continue to be that way until the end.
14-9, the score right now, and we've got some flag football. We had the dancers coming out here at Marshfield High School. As we come back from one more break at halftime, we'll talk a little bit about the Big Sky Conference, but also the tradition here at Marshfield High School. A great place to play some football. Feel real fortunate to come here on the road. We'll talk about it all as we continue our halftime show tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. 14-9, Henley leads at halftime over the 7th-ranked Marshfield Pirates from Coos Bay. We'll be on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them, and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Josh Eldridge, Kevin Petrick, and Caitlin Rodriguez with you tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. At halftime tonight at Coos Bay at Marshfield High School, 14-9, and the Henley Hornets coming into this game ranked third in the state, lead the seventh-ranked Marshfield Pirates. This is a Big Sky Conference matchup. Mazama is in first place in the Big Sky Conference. They've got a 4-0 league mark. They played one more game than everyone else. They got a win last night over Klamath Union 57-10 in the 44th Canal Bowl. So they're 4-0 in league play, 7-0 overall. Henley, 3-0 in conference play, 6-0 overall. By the way, we've mentioned it for a couple of weeks now, but still worth noting, those are the final two undefeated teams left in the 4A class. Marshfield is undefeated in league play, but they do have that one loss, on their record. It was a 30-6 loss to Cascade. But boy, does this team look different than the team that must have played Cascade in week 2. They are 5-1 overall, and technically third place, but in a tie with Henley for second place, I would say, with that league mark. North Bend behind them, 1-2, 2-4. Hidden Valley with a 1-3 mark. They are also 2-4. Klamath Union 1-4 in league play, 2-5 overall. Ashland, the Grizzlies, still looking for their first win in conference play, 0-4 with a 1-5 overall mark. And Kev, you and I had talked about a little bit in the pregame show about how the playoffs are going to function. With the Big Sky Conference, 3 automatic qualifiers into that 16-team playoff bracket, with the possibility of a 4th team sneaking in as well with an at-large bid. But when you look at the top, as Mazama, Henley, and Marshfield sort of distance themselves from the rest of the pack, this is one of those games that really is going to decide who gets 1, 2, and 3, right? Mazama's 1 right now. These two teams duking it out for who's going to be in second at the end of the night. But it's going to be an interesting final, 2.5 games left to go in the season with 1 half still left to play tonight.
Yeah, and everybody in this conference knows how important this game is tonight for playoff seeding. I saw Mazama coach Vic Lease is here. He made the trip over to watch because he knows he has these two teams coming his way the next couple of weeks. So the Mazama, Henley, Marshfield trifecta, if you will, is going to play out in these next few weeks, and it's going to be some good football. It's going to be a lot of fun, and this conference will be well represented in the playoffs, most definitely.
A couple other games going on in the conference tonight. Last we heard, I'm not exactly sure of the score. Maybe Kevin, you heard Hidden Valley leading North Bend. Is that correct? I don't quite know what the score was. Last we heard that they were up.
Yeah, it was 6-0 early. That's the last score we have.
Well, elsewhere, Ashland is playing a non-league game against Sweet Home tonight. The other Big Sky game was the Canal Bowl last night as Mazama beat Klamath Union 57-10. Back in the Basin, Lost River hosting Chiloquin. You don't happen to have a score update on that one, do you, Kev?
My sources have not checked in.
Oh, that's all right. Cross Point also playing Bonanza tonight back in the Basin. Tomorrow, if you tune our way on 104.3 and 960 Sports, you'll be joined by Mike Parker calling the Beavers taking on Washington State at 6 o'clock. 4 o'clock pregame show with a full 2 hours before kickoff at 4 o'clock. And then again, game time 6 p.m. as the Beavers taking on the Cougars on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Well, as we focus back in on this game here at Marshfield High School, long tradition for the Pirates playing their first game all the way back in 1902. And boy, oh boy, some real history here. We'll start here. That Marshfield has won 5 state titles in 9 appearances over the last 120 years. They had a three-peat in 1954, 55, and 56. They won another one in 1992 before claiming the 2021 state championship as well last year, taking the crown. And man, oh man, some legendary coaches have coached here in Coos Bay as well. Kent Weigel will mention first, 6th all-time in wins for a football coach in high school. 306 wins overall, 173 here in Coos Bay. And Pete Susik, 16th all-time in wins, 235, but spent 33 years here at Marshfield High School from 1946 to 1978, and this complex here at Marshfield High School with the football field and the track named in the honor of Pete Susik. I got to imagine, I mean, coaching football from 1946 to 1978, I can only imagine how much the game transformed in those 33 years, and to still continue to win as he did. It's stuff of legends, Kevin.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, the game changes yearly, and to be able to keep up with it but maintain your traditions, yes, definitely quite a program, quite a tradition here at Marshfield.
All time, these two teams have only met 2 previous times. Marshfield won both battles. In 2018, a 36-21 win for Marshfield over the Hornets last year in the quarterfinals. 42-7 was the final score. And, now that we're so deep into this game, that quarterfinal matchup last year, probably at the back of these players' minds with the second half still ahead. But it is worth mentioning that these teams have history and really have come to play tonight. Again, before we take one more break, I mean, you could just tell these defenses really did their homework.
Right. That's the benefit of having excellent coaches and coaching staffs. They looked at film, and they looked at a lot of it, and they know who the good players are and what the teams like to do, and they've done a nice job so far keeping this scoring low.
We'll talk a little bit more about what we expect to see in the second half when we come back as we continue our coverage on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The Hornets up at halftime, 14-9 over the Marshfield. We'll be back on 104.3 and 960 Sports, HD video on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Ugh, keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us in communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we're back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com at halftime tonight. The Henley Hornets beat the Marshfield Pirates in the first 24 minutes, 14-9. And as we get ready for the third quarter, Kev, we talked quite a lot about the defense during halftime. And one of the things that Marshfield's defense did quite well was they had a game plan for Logan Whitlock coming in tonight. They held him relatively silent. I got to imagine that getting that guy going is part of the halftime discussion for the Hornets.
Absolutely. And Marshfield, I feel, kind of has the momentum right now. So this first drive is going to be really important for Henley to get the football and as you mentioned, establish Logan, try to get that running game going again, or at least move the ball, put together some kind of a drive, and get this game kind of back on an even keel where Henley wants it.
Still got a little bit more time before the third quarter begins, it looks like, as the teams still got some time to warm up down on the field. So a fine time for us to take just a quick look at the OSAA Top 10. Now, early in the season, we talked a little bit about the coaches' polls. We talked about some media rankings. But now here in Week 7, it's time to look at what the OSAA thinks, because ultimately these metrics and these numbers decide the playoff seeding. Of course, Mazama is number 1, coming as no surprise there. The undefeated Vikings took care of business last night against Klamath Union, 57-10. Scappoose is ranked 2nd. They're on the road tonight against St. Helens. Of course, our Hornets are ranked 3rd here on the road at Coos Bay. Marist is 4th. They are taking on Philomath tonight, followed by 5th-ranked Pendleton, who is on the road against the Dalles this evening. 6th-ranked Estacada took care of business against Gladstone last night, beat them 46-6. Again, these Pirates are ranked 7th, followed by LeGrand at number 8. They are playing Crook County this evening. Baker is taking on Madras. Baker, the number 9th-ranked team in the state. And then Tillamook, who is a team that Henley played last year in the first round of the playoffs. They're coming in at number 10 against Astoria. It's interesting to see as some of these rankings shape out. A couple of new faces towards the top. Scappoose creeping their way up in there at number 2. Tillamook, who started the season kind of middle of the way, they're creeping their way back into the top 10. Very similar to what they did last year with a late season surge to push them into the playoffs. LeGrand has been good the last couple of seasons, but you start to really see which guys and which teams are going to separate themselves here in Week 7.
Yeah, and Cascade, I think, is the top 12 team. That top 12 in 4A is very, very good, and so it may shift a little bit between 1 and 12, but the playoffs are definitely going to bring some good matchups.
Well, we are just about ready for the third quarter of action tonight as the Hornets will start things off in the third quarter. The kick is fielded by Whitlock at the 10, brings it up past the 15, now past the 20, staying on his feet past the 25, and might have gotten up near the 30, where Henley, will start this possession, their first of the second half.
Nice to see Logan stretch his legs a little bit as he was able to bring back that kick. And yes, the ball is right at the 30-yard line, so pretty good field position. Henley's had a long field to deal with the last few times with the football, so this will be nice.
Hornets will be going from left to right across your radio dial tonight in their road uniforms, consisting of the navy blue helmet with the yellow H, white jerseys with yellow numbering and navy blue trim, yellow pants with the navy stripe, the Marshfield Pirates in purple from head to toe with white numbering and lettering across the front and the back. Stork in an empty backfield. 4 receivers to the near side. Stork going quick to his left. Finding his receiver downfield is Sheen, and he brings it up for a gain of 9, it looks like. Maybe just short of the first down. Second coming up for the Hornets.
Well, they started the game with a play like that, so why not try it again? That was good for 9. And we are underway here in the third quarter.
Hornets scored on their first 2 drives of the game and were held silent through the rest of the first half. Now facing 2nd and 1. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock. Tries to bounce around the outside. He's got some room along the far sideline. He's up past midfield, not quite to the 45 before being pushed out of bounds. They're going to mark him out of bounds right at the 50, it looks like, and a first down for the Hornets and a big gain for Whitlock. He's trying to break loose in the second half.
Yeah, that might be the longest run we've seen from him tonight. And that's a little more typical of what we're used to seeing from the Henley running game. Good gain.
An average of 11 yards per carry for Whitlock this season has been held well below that in this game. 1st and 10 from the Marshfield 49. It's a quick pass to Sheen, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Pretty good throw. Ball was there in time, just bobbled a little bit. Fell incomplete. 2nd down and 10 as Coach Paschy's given the signals. And Josh, one thing I know we're going to see in this half, fog.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it here on the coast. It will start to settle in. Better than the rain we had last year.
Right.
2nd and 10 from the Marshfield 39. Or pardon me, 49. Stork takes the snap, rolling to his right. Has a blocker, trying to find his man to the right, and it is incomplete. The intended target, Janney, to the near side. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
That was probably the right thing to do. There was good coverage downfield. Nowhere really to slot the football, so he just threw that one away. And we'll try it again on 3rd down.
Hornets tonight 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. Haven't had a lot of luck here. 3rd and 10 at the Marshfield 49-yard line. Empty backfield for Stork and 5 wide for the Hornets. Sends a man in motion. It's Bennett. Wraps around Stork, then goes back to the outside. Bennett reins in the football. He's wrapped up, breaks a tackle at the 50 before being shoved out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 10, and the Hornets likely forced to punt.
That was a tricky little play. Man in motion. Caught the ball as he was streaking to this sideline, but just not a lot of room. Marshfield did a nice job of stringing out the play, and Henley will have to punt.
So a loss of 1 on the play, as a matter of fact, and it'll be 4th and 11 for this punting situation. Stork to punt for Henley, and back to receive for Marshfield is Caven Robinson. Good punt from Stork. It's going to bounce at the 15, fielded at the 10. Robinson has a little bit of room. He's up past the 20, trying to bring it to the near side. He's up to the 25. There's a flag thrown as he crosses the 30, now to the 35. 2 flags down by the 25.
Yeah, Chris Janney got pushed in the back on that one, and that run back will come back.
It seems like the Marshfield faithful a little bit resentful of that call, but a block in the back. Going to go against the Pirates. So this one coming back just a little bit for Marshfield as they start their first possession of the 2nd half.
Yeah, that's a good break for Henley, as Janney was causing trouble again, making a good special teams play, and the block was on him, and that'll move the ball back to the 16.
11-11 to go in the 3rd quarter. The score 14-9. And Henley leads. This is Marshfield's first chance of the football. Quarterback by Croft, and Lamons in the backfield. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons. Doesn't have too much room up the middle. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down coming up.
Matthew McCoy at the bottom of the pile. Good run defense by the Hornets on that play.
2nd down, and call it a long 8 for Marshfield. 3 wide receivers to the right, including the weapon George in the slot. Croft back there with Lamons, back and to his left. Croft trying to find a receiver to the near side, finds his man. It is Rogers with a 10-yard reception and a Pirate first down.
Kyle Nichols on the coverage there, and Henley just has not been able to get to the quarterback all night. He's getting a lot of time back there, and he's completing passes when he gets time.
And you're right, Kev, that fog is certainly starting to settle in. You can really see the thick of it down there on the field, something that Henley hasn't had to deal with this season. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 27 for Marshfield. Still in their own territory. Maybe trying to get the Hornets on the hard count there. Now sending 3 to the right of Croft, 1 to his left. Calls for the snap. Again on the quick curl route and completed to Rogers. That one a little bit of a shorter gain. Call it 6 on the reception, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, they're finding that things are working here on the near side of the field with these quick out passes as they went there again. That time for 6 yards.
Second and 4 for Marshfield. Rogers again alone on the near side. This is going to be a play action pass trying to find George, who is wrapped up and brought down. Maybe a loss of 1. He could have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but it will bring up 3rd for the Pirates.
Bennett was there first, then Whitlock. Cleaned up the mess, made the tackle. And a big 3rd down early here in the 3rd quarter.
Pirates 3 for 7 tonight on 3rd down conversions.
Henley would like to get the football back here. Most definitely.
Marshfield at their own 32. Going from right to left. 3 receivers to the near side for Croft. It's going to be a handoff for Lamons. He gets the first down and then some. He's up past the 40, now to the 45 before being brought down. That'll be a gain of about 14, no, even more than that, about 17 on the play for Lamons. First and 10 Marshfield from their own 48.
That was well executed. They spread that Henley defense out and then made a nice crease in the middle for Lamons. And he got a big chunk of yardage right there.
.8:15 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Henley still up by 5, 14-9. First and 10. Play action pass. Croft looking over the middle and finds George. He's up past the 40, wrestled down at the 32. And another big gain and a Pirates first down.
Everything working for the Pirates right now. Carpenter made a nice tackle. Might have been a touchdown had he not made the stop there. And things are definitely going the Pirates' way.
First and 10 from the 32. Now deep, driving into Henley territory. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons. Has a little bit of room along the right side and finds himself forward for a gain of 8.
Lamons following Gilbert Hernandez on that right side. Some pretty good blocking going on right now for that Marshfield front.
Second down and 3 after the gain of 7 from Lamons. 7:10 to go in the 3rd, and Henley up 14-9. Two receivers to either side. Now a man in motion coming to the near side. It's going to be a handoff to Lamons, who's tripped up at the line of scrimmage and wrestled down. Maybe a gain of 1. 3rd down on the way.
Misdirection play, a trap. Ending up on the far side of the field. Well defended by the Hornets. No gain. And it's 3rd and about 4.
Marshfield tonight, I gave the wrong number just a minute ago. They're actually 4 for 9 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Just a shade under 50% for the evening. 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Henley leads by 5, 14-9. And here we go. Lamons wrapped up quickly and wrestled down. No gain, 4th down.
That looked like Ortiz in there, and that was a brilliant play. And that puts Marshfield in a 4th down situation. They'll definitely go for it. Too far field goal.
1 for 2 on 4th down conversions tonight are the Pirates. Big one coming up here at the Henley 25. It's 4th and 3. Two receivers to the near side for Croft. Lamons back there with them. A man in motion. It's Postgame. Play action pass over the middle. George caught, and he is into the end zone for a Marshfield touchdown right over the middle, and the Pirates take the lead.
I think he's just short, and they fooled everyone in the stadium. Even the cannon went off.
Yeah, even me. I went off the cannon. Probably my own mistake there. So it looks like they are just short. The players ran onto the field. It will be first and goal. Still 14-9 the score. Apologies. 5:14 to go in the third.
It was a nice play. Everybody was thinking run, and he threw a nice ball right down the middle of the field in the seam, and is just short of the goal line. It'll be first and goal from there.
First and goal looks like from about the 3. They say handoff to Lamons, has a hole, and did he get in there? It looks like he might be short, but they're giving it to him. Touchdown Pirates with 4:43 to go in the third. And the score now, 15-14 Pirates. They've got a chance to make it a 3-point lead or a 2 with a kick, but a 2-point conversion could put them up by 3. We'll see how they decide to handle this. They're throwing the tee back to the sideline. But it looks like they still might. Well, it's tough to say so far.
Yeah, we'll see. They're contemplating as we were.
There we go. The offense stays out there. They're going to try to put themselves up 3. 0 for 1 on 2-point conversions tonight are the Pirates. Big play here. Snap. Croft. Bubble pass is incomplete to Lamons, and this remains a 1-point ball game. 15-14 Pirates with 4:43 to go in the third. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back on your home for Hornets football. 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video tonight on MyBasin.com.
Oregon Tech men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports. You've got HD video tonight on MyBasin.com. The score, 15-14 Pirates. They take the lead on that last possession. 9 plays and 84 yards in just over 7 minutes for Marshfield as they take a 1-point lead over Henley, capped off with a Lamons touchdown run from about 2 yards out. Henley gets the ball back. The kick is up. It's going to be taken by Whitlock at about the 7. He's bringing it up now past the 20. Tries to cut along the far sideline. He's got a little bit of room up past the 30. Now the 35, the 40. He's got no one in front of him besides the kicker and wrapped the field at the 40. Tried to get around the kicker. Slowed him down just enough for the rest of the field at the 40. Tried to get around the kicker. Slowed him down just enough for the rest of the Pirates brigade to catch up to him. Past midfield, a great return for Whitlock.
That was a great return. And you want to get the ball in his hands any way you can. And if that includes returning punts and kicks, then that's what you want to do. A great piece of field position there. Henley will start at the Marshfield 41.
Henley with some great field position here. We'll see how the Hornets try to take advantage. They find themselves down by a point now, 15-14, 4.5 to go in the third. Stork with the snap. Quick handoff to Whitlock. Tries to fight forward. A gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play. It'll bring up second down.
Good hard run, but he was met by a number of Marshfield defenders. And he picked up a couple.
Second down for the Hornets.
Second down for Henley. They were forced to punt on their previous couple of possessions. 2nd and 8. Stork with 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and Whitlock to his right in the backfield. It's going to be another handoff to Logan. Tries to bounce around the outside, gets to the outside, and cuts up the sideline. A solid gain. brought down out of bounds. Looks to be a Hornets first down.
There's a chance to see his quickness as he got outside. Picked up 10 or 11. Good for a first down.
And you know, it's hard to believe, but if you subtract those touchdowns, those long plays that I guess in a way are first downs, if you subtract those, that's Henley's second first down of the night. They haven't put together very many long drives.
Wow, right.
1st and 10 from the Marshfield 30. Stork takes the low snap, has some room in the pocket, has a man downfield, and it is in there for a touchdown. An immaculate catch by Owen Sheen, diving into the end zone, and the Hornets reclaim the lead. My goodness.
Wow. And what sold that was Shaw had a nice pump. He sold that pump fake big time, and then Owen was able to get past his defender, and if that ball had been 2 inches further, he wouldn't have been able to grip it. Right on the edge of his fingertips. Great catch, great throw, and Henley manages to get the lead back.
Sheen's 6th touchdown catch of the year. 3:39 to go in the third. They lead by 5, trying to put themselves up 7. Here's the 2-point conversion try. Stork drops back to pass. Floating one back into the corner of the end zone, and it is caught. Sheen bringing it in again. The 2-point conversion for the Hornets is good. They now lead by 7, 22-15 with 3:39 to go in the third quarter. That drive for the Hornets, 3 plays, 59 yards, and 51 seconds to cap off a scoring drive. Sheen with the exclamation point and the 30-yard diving touchdown catch into the end zone. That's the Hornets offense that we've seen all season long and in the first parts of this ball game. We'll see if they can continue that momentum as they reclaim the lead.
I was just going to say that. That's more of what we're used to, that quick strike offense. And Henley's playing the conversions very well tonight, both defensively and offensively. That 2-point conversion, a nice play. Sheen broke hard in the middle of the field, then cut back to the corner of the end zone, and Shaw put the ball right on the money. And they get 2. So it makes the lead 7 with about 3.5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. That was an exciting play.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like he had it from this angle, but man, oh man, they laid out for it over the shoulder. He couldn't make much more of an impressive catch than that.
Yeah.
Hornets will kick the ball off to the Pirates. Again, just over 3.5 to go in the third, and it's a 7-point game again, 22-15. The kick is up. That's going to be fielded at the 2 by Rogers. He brings it up past the 10, gets to the 15, and he is brought down at the 18, maybe the 19. And that is where Marshfield will take over.
And who was on the tackle? Rylan Fox. We call his name every time there's a special teams play. It seems like. Well done.
Again, Rylan Fox, one of those guys who stepped up in place of an injured player on the Hornets defense against Hidden Valley a couple weeks ago, and they liked what they saw. They started him against KU,
yeah.
And, apparently they liked what they saw some more, so getting the start here against Marshfield tonight. Here we go, the Pirates 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Lamons. Tries to fight his way up the middle, does for a small gain of maybe 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Matthew McCoy making a good tackle. Limiting that first down gain. That's the goal of the Hornets, and they've been doing a pretty good job of that.
Second and 8. They're calling it 7. Coming up for Marshfield. The yard to gain is the 29. This one being snapped from about the 23. Croft, time to throw. Fires it over the middle to George, and the pass incomplete, but a flag down. This one could be pass interference, and another late flag. The ref threw it directly, and it hit Whitlock in the back. Yeah. And I don't think there's any question about who that flag might be going. I've never seen a referee hit a player with a flag, I've got to be honest.
That was a bang-bang play on the pass, and Chris Janney got there a little bit early and got the pass interference call, and then I think maybe some of the Hornets weren't too thrilled with the call, and they may have picked up a personal foul. Yeah.
And so that is a big one. That's moving up 30 yards, if my math is correct, for Marshfield. And a big gift for the Pirates.
Yeah, that's one you can control. You always want to not make the mistake you can control, and you have to somehow just hold whatever it was that you want to say or do when you think a call doesn't go your way, and that will cost them 15.
A game like this with high emotions, again, yeah, you're exactly right. You got to bite the tongue in cases like this. So the ball will move on the other side of midfield. Marshfield now into Henley territory at their 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Pirates with 2:48 to go in the third. 22-15, Henley leads. Croft calls for the snap. Play action pass. Has room to throw. Down the sideline. Incomplete. Intended target was Rogers. And that will bring up 2nd and 10.
Kyle Nichols out there with good defense. When a quarterback gets that much time, there's a lot of pressure on those defensive backs, but they're doing a really good job for the most part.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Pirates. One receiver to the near side is Rogers. Looks like they've got George stationed right behind the left guard. And 2 receivers to the right. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons. Tries to get along the left side. Cuts upfield. And a gain of 4 or 5.
That's Fox in there on the tackle. Bringing up 3rd down.
3rd down for the Pirates. They are 4 for 10 so far this evening on 3rd down conversion attempts. This one's going to be about 3rd and 6. 2:17 to go in the third, and Henley up a touchdown, 22-15. Big play for the Pirates. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side for Croft with Lamons to his right. This is going to be a keeper for Croft. No, a misdirection. The receiver has it.
That ball was fumbled.
It was fumbled by Bosque.
And Henley picked it up.
And yes, they did. Tough to see with the jumble of bodies, but you're exactly right. The Hornets forcing another fumble, causing another turnover, and that's a big one. Still up a touchdown as Hornets take over. 1:47 to go in the third.
Marshfield went with the reverse again, and it looked to be working on that far side. Just lost a grip on the football, and Henley comes up with another turnover.
And the football placed at the 40 in Henley territory. Henley scored on their last drive in just 3 plays from similar field position. We'll see what they come up with here, 1st and 10. Stork takes it, rolls to his right, looks over the middle, and Sheen can't rein that one in. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That was good defense by Jonathan Calvert for Marshfield. He was right there with Owen. Shaw had a little bit of time to throw, set his feet, put the ball in a good spot. Just good defense.
Henley now faces a 2nd and 10. They've gone through the air a lot tonight. We'll see how they approach this 2nd down situation. Stork calling for the snap. Play action pass. Quick fire to Sheen. And he is going to battle his way upfield and eventually out of bounds. Solid gain of about 7 or 8. 3rd down and short coming up for Henley.
That's become a trusted, tried and true play. And it was good enough to make this an interesting 3rd down. Very short.
3rd and 2. Stork trying to get Marshfield to jump. Now coming back, trying to get the play from Coach Pashy. It's going to be a keeper for Stork. He finds some room up the middle, gets the 1st down after a gain of 4. Crosses midfield down at the Marshfield 48. 1st and 10 Hornets.
I like the decisiveness there by Shaw. As soon as he got the snap, he saw a line and he took it north-south running, as they call it, and picked up the first down.
Right up the gut. 1st and 10 from the Marshfield 48 as the Hornets now drive downfield from left to right. 1:15 to go in the third. 22-15 the score, and Hornets lead. Whitlock right behind Stork. 2 receivers to the near side. 1 to the far side for Henley. Stork calls for the snap. Quick handoff to Whitlock. Shows his speed, shows his resolve as he battles for every yard and gets 4 or 5, and 2nd down.
Whitlock is a very good running back, does a lot of things the right way. That time got really low and squared up his shoulder pads and just pushed that line and managed to get 4 yards out of not much of a hole. He did a nice job there.
It'll be 2nd and 5, 24 seconds and counting to go in the third. And Henley leads 22-15. This might be the final play of the third quarter. Here we go. 2nd and 6, the official measurement. Stork almost got the hard count, now under 10 seconds. Stork winding down the time. Here's the snap. Play action pass. Stork pump fakes to his right. Now rolling around to his left. He throws it over the middle. It's caught by Whitlock out of the backfield. He's inside the 20. Now cuts up inside the 15. Up to the 10. The 5. Touchdown. No, he's into the end zone. No touchdown. There is a flag down where he caught the football. It was a great spin move by Whitlock, but we'll see what the call is here.
There's a lot going on there. Okay.
So against Henley, illegal man downfield. The clock expired. Will that mark the end of the quarter? Are they going to let that stand, or does the clock resume where the flag was thrown? Or when the flag was thrown, pardon me.
I'm not sure if we'll get an untimed down. They'll sort this out.
It looks like, well, maybe an untimed down. It looks like.
So the pass play will not count. They'll march it back, and we'll have 1 play.
2nd and 10, and 1 play to end the third quarter. Stork alone in the backfield, 5 wide for the Hornets. Shaw takes the snap, looks left. He's going to find Whitlock. Whitlock upfield, diving for the marker. And he might have just gotten it.
Yeah, real good sense there where the stick was, and he picked up the first.
Gain of 11 for Whitlock. 1st down Hornets, and they lead 22-15 after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back with the 4th quarter of action on 104.3 and 960 Sports. You've got HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
The Marshfield Dancers welcome us into the 4th quarter in Coos Bay, Oregon. I'm Josh Eldridge. Along with me tonight, Kevin Petrick and Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream, showing you the Marshfield Dancers, who had some technical difficulties at halftime, but showing us here in the break between the 3rd and 4th quarter that they've got all the moves as we welcome you back into this ball game. 22-15. Henley leads. They've got the football, and it'll be 1st and 10 with 12 minutes on the clock in the final frame of this matchup between two top 10 teams. Henley ranked 3rd, Marshfield ranked 7th. And we've got one frame left to decide this one. Should be an exciting quarter of football. So glad that you're with us on this wonderful, foggy Friday night in Coos Bay.
Yeah, don't you love when the game lives up to the hype? I mean,
absolutely.
It's just been a terrific game, no matter how it turns out, and we've got a good quarter of football ahead.
All right, 1st and 10 Hornets from the Marshfield 37. Stork in an empty backfield. Whitlock in motion. It's going to be a keeper for Stork. Sheds off one defender, wrapped up after fighting upfield for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, there was a defender in the backfield. Stork made the right decision to keep the football. He'd come to the near side and get just a couple.
These past couple of plays, they've lined Whitlock up on the outside and kind of a bunch set out on the right side with wide receivers lined up behind each other. All 4 of them. It'll be 2nd down. Stork, time to throw. Trying to find Sheen on the sideline. It's broken up into the end zone, but again, broken up. And it'll bring up 3rd. That was a well-placed football, but the defender just got there to cover Sheen.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times. Really nothing wrong with that. Good throw, good route, just some good defense. And we saw that time that Stork saw a one-on-one on this side with Sheen. All the receivers on that far side were, for the most part, decoys. He was looking this way the whole time, trying to find Owen deep.
Hornets tonight 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Here we go, 3rd and 7. Stork with a handoff to Whitlock. Has some room on the right side, but the ball pops loose. Whitlock is able to fall on it, but no gain on the play. Brings up 4th. The Hornets lucky to keep possession. But again, now they face a 4th down.
That was a fortunate bounce. It hit hard on the turf and popped back up where Whitlock could grab it. And Marshfield's very good at stripping the ball. They've done that a few times. Henley lucky to keep possession, although it is 4th down.
It looks like Henley content to punt at the 35-yard line into Marshfield territory. Stork the punter. He does punt it into the night sky. Bounces at the 5, and Henley able to pin it deep into Marshfield territory inside the 5 at the 3 or 4, and that is where the Pirates will start possession.
Very nice. That's just what you want out of that play. Try to get that ball inside the 5, and the Henley coverage team was down there to down the football. So, well executed, and that gives Marshfield a long field, down by 7 with 10 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the game.
22-15 the score, and they're marking that one at the 5, it looks like. Maybe the 4-yard line. Either way, 1st and 10. Handoff to Lamons. Tries to find some room along the left. Small gain on the play. 2nd down, Pirates.
A lot of Henley tacklers in there, stuffing that play. Still was able to get about 3.
2nd down for the Pirates.
2nd down and 6. So officially a gain of 4 on the play for Marshfield. Still deep in their own territory at the 6-yard line. Play action pass. Croft looking over the middle. The pass is caught by George on the jump. No, incomplete. It pops out as he fell down. It was a great grab, but he couldn't stick with it. And it looks like a player staying down on the field. We are going to stay here in Coos Bay and remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires on wheels in your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab Tires does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to help make sure that everything's in working order at Les Schwab Tires. 3 locations in the Basin in Merrill, 2 in Klamath Falls on Washburn Way and South 6th Street. Les Schwab has been doing the right thing since 1952, and the Marshfield player able to get up and walk off the field. Seems more upset about being hurt than anything, but a good sign for the man to be able to walk it off, and that will bring up third for the Pirates.
Yep, that was Luke Bennett on that coverage. And did a pretty nice job of just sticking with the play, forcing the pass to be incomplete, and it brings up third down.
3rd down and 6. Clock stopped at 9:37 to go in the final quarter. Henley leads 22-15. And here we go. Croft takes the snap, looks right, trying to find his man. Deep to the corner, it is caught by Mecky Johnson. He catches it down at the 40. That's a 30-plus yard reception for the Pirates and a first down. 11th of the night for Marshfield in terms of first downs, 3rd down conversions.
You know, on 3rd down, you can do that. Just let her fly. That was a 50-50 ball. And the Marshfield receiver did a nice job to come down with it.
5 for 12 tonight on 3rd down after that one. Here's 1st and 10 from the Marshfield 40 for the Pirates. This is going to be a handoff to Lamons. He is hit and brought down after a gain of 1. 2nd down coming.
Matthew McCoy playing some physical football. Another steady tackle there. Very short gain, not even a yard.
Yeah, about 2nd and 9.5 for Marshfield here. Clock still rolling, 8:45 to go in the game, and Henley up by a touchdown, 22-15. One receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side with 1 man lined up behind the tackle. Looks to be a quick pass, caught by Johnson at the 40. Finds his way upfield for maybe a gain of 5 or 6. Will bring up 3rd down.
Owen Sheen on the coverage. Had a nice tackle over there to keep it to a short gain.
Big 3rd down here for the Pirates. Again, in 12 attempts tonight, they have converted on 5 of them. Empty backfield for Croft. 5 wide for the Pirates. Croft calls for it, looks left, now looks over the middle, tries to find George deep. The pass is broken up by Janney. And great coverage downfield. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Janney did a nice job of breaking on the football. He was backpedaling when the ball was thrown, made a nice darting move to the receiver. Good defense. And 4th down decision here for Marshfield, near midfield.
Fourth down and 6. Again, you're right about the 44-yard line. It looks like Marshfield content to punt the ball away.
It's about 8 minutes left in the game, so there's time to get the ball back.
The kick is up at the 35. Bennett is going to let that one bounce at the 25. There's a flag down. It's picked up at the 20. Bennett has some room. He's up past the 30, now the 35, before being brought down at the 40. Again, there are 2 flags down, 3 flags down on the field.
There are 3. And we have one where the ball was caught on the punt, and then there was one on the near sideline about halfway down the field.
We also have a Marshfield player down, trying to sort everything out. In the meantime, we will remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, PCFCU is the way to go. Here's the call. So I couldn't quite hear him, Kev. Did you happen to sort that out?
Yeah, there was a blindside block, which is the penalty that will be accepted.
For against the Hornets?
Yes, against the Hornets. On the run back, there's a blindside block penalty. There was also a block in the back. That one was declined.
Gotcha. And worth noting that the Marshfield player, again, was able to get up and walk off the field who was down, so a positive sign there. They're going to place this one back at the Henley 12 for the Hornets to start possession.
It was a nice move by Bennett to kind of, the ball was skipping down the field, and after about 2 bounces, he picked it up and made a nice run back, but the penalties will bring it back.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the 12 is the official marking. Hornets got a long field in front of them in the final quarter with 8 minutes to go, up 22 to 15. Whitlock being sent out wide, trying to hit him on the bubble route. He catches it. He's up past the 10, brought down at the 15, and a gain of about 4 on the play, maybe 5. Second down coming up for Henley.
Just a simple little pass, hitting Whitlock out of the backfield, trying to get him the ball out in front of him so when he catches it, he has a full head of steam. And that one was good for 4.
Whitlock has had success on the sidelines tonight, not so much up the middle, which is what we're accustomed to. So it looks like the Hornets trying to get him the ball in some space.
Right.
It'll be 2nd and 6. Stork handing it off to Whitlock. He's trying to find some room along the outside. Gets past one defender, has some room upfield. He's up past the 20 and brought down at the 26. That is a gain of 10 and a Hornets first down.
He did a really nice job of avoiding a tackle that would have been short of the first down. Was able to get outside of that tackle and pick up the yardage he needed.
$7-12 and counting in the final quarter. Henley up 22-15, and they've got the football 1st and 10 at their own 26, driving from right to left. Stork takes the snap, play action pass, looking for his man down the far sideline. It is incomplete. Again, trying to find Sheen on the deep route, but it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
They're trying to find that one-on-one on the outside and go deep. And it's worked a few times, and a few times Marshfield's had good defense. Bringing up 2nd down.
Clock stops at 6:51. Here we go, 2nd and 10 Hornets. This is going to be a handoff to Whitlock. Tries to find his room up the middle, but finds some room to bounce around the outside. He's up past the 35, now past the 40 to the 45, dragged down before reaching the 50 at the 48. Big gain for Whitlock and a Hornets first down. And the clock keeps moving.
I don't know how he made it past the line of scrimmage. There was a lot of traffic in there, and he just kept spinning and driving his feet, and before you know it, he's at midfield. Good run.
Just escapes a jumble of bodies on his feet.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from their own 48. Hornets have got it, 6.5 to go, up by a score, 22-15. 2 receivers to the near side for Stork with Whitlock in the backfield, one to the right. It's going to be a handoff. Logan fights forward, up the middle, and a gain of 4 yards. 2nd down on the way.
I like seeing that Henley line really putting the push on that one. Marshfield kind of showing their strength in this half, but when it counts here down the stretch, that Henley O-line doing a nice job. We're creeping up on about 5 minutes here.
5:44 to be exact in the game.
Both teams have all their timeouts, so there's a lot of football left.
Absolutely. 2nd and 6, the measurement. Henley at the Marshfield 49. Here it is. Stork takes the snap. It's going to be a keeper. Goes left, cuts right, upfield, wrestled down from behind after a gain of 1. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Henley.
Stork did a nice job of making that first tackler miss. It might have been a tackle for a loss. had he not made that shifty little move. Instead, we get a 3rd and about 6.
They're calling it a long 5, under 5 to go in the ball game. And Stork getting the call in from the sideline. Henley tonight, not a lot of luck on 3rd down. They're 2 for 6 tonight.
I can't hear you. It's going.
The clock is running. Henley taking their time.
As they should.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3rd and 5. Stork in an empty backfield, and timeout is going to be taken by Henley. That is their first of the half. We're going to stick with you through this timeout, an opportunity to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. That's why Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and home owners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. Also, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club have the most understanding trainers you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness wants you to lose those reins and get your gains. It'll be 3rd down when we come back. 3rd and 5, 4.5 to go. In the final quarter, a top 10 clash in Coos Bay. Number 3, Henley leads number 7, Marshfield, 22-15.
This is a huge play, and this is why Coach Stork called the timeout. This is a biggie. The first down here will go a long way for the Hornets. And if Marshfield gets the football back, they can try to drive the field and tie the score. Big play.
Stork in an empty backfield, 5 wide for Henley. 3rd and 5 from the Marshfield 49. Stork, time to throw. Across the middle. It's complete. Sheen in open field. Inside the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Hornets. Owen Sheen with his 3rd touchdown reception of the night. No flags, and the Hornets extend their lead. It's 28-15.
Wow. I like the confidence that they have in that play. They've been going to Owen all night. They see something they like over there. And that was just a skinny post, and he was open, and Shaw just put it right there. And Henley takes a commanding lead with about 4 minutes to go.
Sheen the kick. It is no good, but there is a flag. The kick was blocked. And we'll sort this out. Let's see as the white cap emerges.
We'll see if we get another chance at this kick.
Personal foul against the defense. And so they are getting a second chance. Sheen getting another opportunity after a big touchdown score.
And Marshfield was caught jumping over the line. That's how the ball was blocked, I believe. You can't do that. We'll try it again.
All right, Janney to hold, and Marshfield maybe jump, but it also could be false start. It looks like this is going to be encroachment.
Yep.
And so half the distance doesn't change too much for Henley. I don't think you end up going for 2 here. Up 13, 4:20 to go. It makes sense to just try to go up the 2 touchdowns, I think. And even if you're that much closer, yes, the special teams unit staying out there. Same situation, Janney to hold for Sheen, who's been perfect tonight. The snap, the hold, the kick is good. And the Hornets lead 29-15 with 4:22 to go in the ball game. That drive for Henley lasting 6 plays and going 88 yards in about 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Capped off with a 48-yard connection between Owen Sheen and Shaw Stork. That's Sheen's 3rd touchdown tonight, and it is his 8th on the season.
We've seen Henley finish games, and that's one of their strengths of this team. And there's still a lot of game left. There's almost 4.5 minutes to go. But What a crucial set of downs on that last drive, and then on that 3rd and long to pick up the first. Was that 4th or 3rd?
That was 3rd. That makes
down.
Henley 3 for 7 on 3rd down tonight. They've converted 3 in a row.
Yeah, so a great conversion and puts them in a real good position to win this game here in the 4th quarter.
All right, 4:22 to go in the ball game, and Sheen to kick it off for Henley. Kicks it from the near hash. Rogers going to let that one bounce at the 15, fields it at the 10, brings it up past the 20, along the near sideline, and he's hit at the 25. That is where Marshfield will start this possession.
And Sheen bumped him out of bounds. The kicker making the tackle.
Tackle was made by a Hornet.
Marshfield down a couple of scores, 29-15. And you're the coach here, Kevin. Is this a time to try to strike quick, or are you still running the offense with 4:20 or 4:15 to go?
Yeah. I think I would try to be. I would try to be in a hurry here. You need to score twice, so you don't need to waste any time. You have all your timeouts, which is good, but you're going to want to be in a hurry.
1st and 10. It's going to be a sweep to the outside. Johnson doesn't have any room to cut up field and just runs laterally out of bounds. Good job by the Hornets defense to close out 2nd down.
Yeah, that's one of those times where the whole defense played well. They all stayed in their lanes, and they drove the play to the sideline with no forward momentum. 2nd and 10. The clock does stop.
Yeah, this player runs out of bounds.
And that does help Marshfield.
3 to the near side for Croft with Lamons in the backfield. 1 to the left. Receiver. Lamons rolling to his right. Has room to throw. Downfield. It is tipped and caught. Coming up to the 45 on the other side of midfield. Bosque. That ball was tipped up. Intended target was Johnson. Tipped it up in the air, and Bosque was in the right place at the right time to dive for the football. A big completion. Marshfield flips field position now at the Henley 45. Quick snap. Croft rolling to his left, trying to find a receiver downfield, and that is caught as well by George. Another reception by Bosque, 11 yards and a Marshfield 1st down. They're moving downfield, trying to move a little bit quickly.
Yeah, and they're not wasting any time. They're on the ball again.
1st and 10 now from the Henley 35. Croft rolling to his right. Tries to fire over the middle, almost picked off, and Bennett was there diving, but it bounces off the chest pads, and that will stop the clock with 3:30 to go in the ball game. Henley up 29-15, and Marshfield driving, trying to close the gap. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Henley 35.
Those Henley defensive backs are doing a nice job of breaking on the football. Bennett did a good job there defending that pass.
Here we go, 2nd and 10 Pirates. Croft rolling to his right. Has some time to throw. Looking for Johnson down the sideline. It is intercepted. The Hornets come away with the football. And it's Owen Sheen.
Owen Sheen's having a game tonight. He gets the interception.
Coming up with the play there, Sheen with the interception and 3 touchdowns. He's having himself quite the ball game.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of air under it, and he was able to get there and make the grab. And now Henley has 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Try to play keep away and go home with a win.
And Henley, they'll get on the ball. Marshfield, again, they still have 3 timeouts, and we'll see how conservative the Pirates end up being with those timeouts. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 13. Henley deep in their own territory. Stork is going to hand it off to Whitlock, who trucks upfield for a gain of 1. And a timeout is going to be charged to the Pirates. That is their first. And so we'll stick with you through this timeout and through the rest of the ball game. And we remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities, comfortable and not corporate. Klamath Falls Subaru, stop by and say hi.
So we've seen the Hornets do this before, try to finish a game with under 4 minutes, but there's still work to do. They need to string together some first downs, and that's going to be the formula to win the game. It looks like Marshfield's going to use their timeouts early here, so a couple of first downs will go a long way for the Hornets.
And it will be second and about 9. As the ball game resumes, the Hornets getting on the football. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock, coming around the near side, up to the 15, bounces around, has some room before being brought down past the 20, not quite to the 25, at the 24 for Whitlock.
That's close to a first down. It is.
And it looks like they will give him the first. Another first down for the Hornets.
And did he stay in bounds?
I don't think he did, but the clock is still rolling.
That's a heady play if he was able to get down before being pushed out. Yeah, he did. The clock's running.
Yeah, 2:38 and counting
Well
to go
done.
in the ball game.
Well
Absolutely.
done.
And Henley content to continue to let that clock dwindle, trying to hold on to a 2-touchdown lead, 29-15, as we cross the 2:20 mark in the ball game. Marshfield does have 2 timeouts. And now as the back judge signals, Henley is ready to go. This is a handoff to Whitlock. Battles forward for a gain of 2. And that will trigger a timeout from the Pirates. That would be their second.
Henley just continues to impress with the way they can finish games. And they're well on their way here. Just 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. Hornets lead by 14.
Trying to remain undefeated on the season. And don't want to look ahead yet. But next week would be the clash of the Titans in the Klamath Basin between Mazama and Henley.
That would be something. To get 2 undefeated teams there, that would be something.
Well, the Hornets just 2 minutes and 6 seconds away from improving to 7-0 if they hold on to this 2-touchdown lead. Marshfield does have 1 timeout remaining. Here we go. It'll be second and about 9 for the Henley offense. Stork hands off to Whitlock. Has a little bit of room along the outside. Cuts up past the 30 and upfield for a gain of 8 or 9. And the clock will continue to roll. It looks like maybe just short of the first. No, they're going to give it to him. First down Hornets. 10-yard gain for Whitlock. Now inside of 2 minutes.
Big play. You know, we get late in the game and that Henley line just seems to get stronger. And they are doing a whale of a job here, finishing off this game.
First and 10 from the 34.
What a complete game tonight from the Hornets.
And Henley trying to get the call in from the sideline. And they still have 2 timeouts as well. And they will use one of them here. And so we'll stick with you through this timeout. A time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin. 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. This game with the timeout left. Go ahead.
This game felt like a playoff game, didn't it, Josh? I mean,
I would agree. Intensity on both sides, both teams making huge momentum swinging plays, and ultimately it's looking like if the Hornets can hold on with 1:16 to go in the game, up a couple of scores, that they made the biggest plays when it counted. Sheen with that interception on the final drive for Marshfield, and of course the big touchdown receptions, and Chris Janney with one as well, and they made the big plays when it counted, and Marshfield did as well, for what it's worth.
Yeah, there's good talent on both sidelines, and Marshfield will be there in the end. They'll be in the playoffs. You will definitely see these teams down the road.
1st and 10 as the teams line up from the 34.
Henley can just run the clock out. It's 1st down, so...
Takes the knee, and the clock is rolling. We'll probably see him do it one more time. Marshfield is going to hold on to their final timeout, or so it seems. And what a game it was. Of course, we'll talk more about it in the post-game show and be joined by our Mountain Mike's player of the game. And we'll let you know who that is during the post-game show, of course, as Henley lines up to take another knee inside of 45 seconds to go.
It's a tough place to play and win. Henley can feel very proud of their performance tonight.
And the Hornets looking to trot off the field and potentially remain winners. And not quite sure what the play clock would look like, but the team's coming off the field as we're inside of 20 seconds. Now the Hornets coming on the road and taking a game from a talented team in the Marshfield Pirates. The final score tonight is going to be 29-15. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll break down this game as we saw it up here in the booth, and of course talk to our Mountain Mike's player of the game a little bit later on in the post-game show. The Hornets taking care of business here at Marshfield High School, remaining undefeated, improving to 7-0, and taking this one 29-15. Stick it here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. You've got HD video tonight at basin.com. Okay.
The road can be a crazy place. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federation.
And we are back on 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video tonight on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets grabbing a 29-15 win over Marshfield. We're joined now by our Mountain Mike's player of the game, Chris Janney, with us on the postgame show. Chris, one heck of a game you guys played tonight. What's it mean to come here on the road and grab this one?
A ton. Similar to Seaside, it's just a great win against a great team. We're going to be super excited going into another big game next week, so really exciting.
You know, you guys struck quick in the first quarter tonight, and you stalled a little bit on offense in that first half. What changed at halftime for you guys, if you mind sharing some of the things you guys talked about to kick that offense back into gear?
Yeah, our coaches do a tremendous job of making adjustments at halftime and gave us a lot of confidence. We had confidence in each other, and we just went out and played the game in the second half.
The reason we're talking tonight, my friend, is one heck of a defensive night for you. Talk to me about some of the preparation you did coming into tonight and how you were able to execute that game plan.
Well, you know, our coaches get us prepared very well, and I just got to play my part and do my job, and I hope I did that tonight, and so it turned out good. So.
All right, 7-0.
Yep.
There's one other team in the state that's 7-0. Are you thinking about them yet, those Mazama Vikings?
Yep, we'll have a good week of preparation for them. So.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Chris Janney, you are tonight's Mountain Mike's player of the game. You've earned a pizza with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. I'll let you go celebrate with your team, and great game tonight.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Chris Janney tonight with us on the post-game show, our Mountain Mike's player of the game. We're going to take one more break, and then we'll break down this one for you on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The Hornets victors tonight, 29-15.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice.
We welcome you back to Coos Bay, Oregon, the site of tonight's MyBasin.com game of the week, a game in which the Henley Hornets are victors, 29-15. The offense came out. They struck quick, a couple of touchdowns on a couple of plays, quite literally. 2 plays, 2 scores for the Hornets. The offense stalled a little bit in that first half, but they came back. Owen Sheen led the way with 3 touchdown receptions tonight. We talked to Chris Janney, who was elite on the defensive end tonight. He also had a touchdown reception. Couple of scores for Marshfield came off the back of John Lamons. One's from 4 yards out, one's from 2 yards out. Again, final score this evening, 29-15. Kev, we talked a lot about the defense tonight, and what a defensive night it was for both teams.
Yeah, the Henley defense holding that team to 15. That's a very good night for any defense to be on the road playing Marshfield and only giving up 15. So defense was great. Kind of, if you look at this game, it was a crazy game, very enjoyable. And you kind of look at the game, and the offense at the beginning and the end really did what they had to do. And then that whole middle was the defense. And I think you put that together, and Henley's 7-0.
They are. That's a nice thing to say. One more thing about this game that I think is worth noting, and we touched on it a little bit in the second quarter, was the adjustments that both coaching staffs made. I mean, Coach Lamons for Marshfield, obviously Coach Stork for Henley. They both, it was a game of chess by these coaches tonight, and I think one of the big things that Henley was able to figure out was how to implement Whitlock into the game in that second half when he was neutralized in the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was much more effective in the second half, and that definitely paved the way for Henley to score. Yep.
Final score tonight, 29-15, and the Hornets victors. They improved to 7-0 overall, 4-0 in conference play. They've got one thing on their mind on that bus ride back home, Kevin. That's the Mazama Vikings
Yep.
next week. That is going to be a great one back home. The Hornets at Hill O'Brien Field. I'm already looking forward to it. I know you are too.
Yeah, you got to do your homework. I don't know the last time these two teams were undefeated and met, but it's going to be quite an atmosphere, quite a game. It'd be nice to be home. So we're all looking forward to that for sure.
Mazama Vikings.
Did I mention I love Coos Bay?
It's great. I love it here too.
That's one. People who know me know I just love Coos Bay.
I love the coast. I was born and raised on the coast, so this kind of feels like home to me, definitely. And I will extend a very gratuitous thank you to the athletic director, Greg Mulkey, for setting us up this evening up here in the press box. And Kevin, you were amongst the folks this evening out there in the crowd.
Yes.
But it was a great night. So thanks again to Greg Mulkey and all of his staff. And Molly, the athletic secretary, thank you as well for setting us up this evening. I'd also like to thank Luke Hammond at Henley for helping us with the broadcast each week. Of course, both head coaches, John Lamons at Marshfield, and of course, Alex Stork with the Henley Hornets. Henley is now 7-0 overall this season. They are one of 2 undefeated teams left. And after next week, there'll only be one as the Mazama Vikings come to town next week. 29-15, the final score. This about does it for us tonight. Appreciate you spending the evening with us on mybasin.com. It's your home for everything going on in the Basin, from news to sports to everything in between. You can find it online at mybasin.com. Once again, final score from Coos Bay this evening, 29-15, and the Hornets were victors. And we did have one more score to give, Kevin, potentially that Lost River.
Oh, I did get a Lost River update. At halftime, it was 50-0, homecoming night at Lost River against Chiloquin. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, this is Josh Eldridge, along with Kevin Petrick and Caitlin Rodriguez tonight, saying good night from Coos Bay, Oregon.